half Irish Mayflower. Anyway, I'm rambling. I don't know why, but I'm very happy you're here. And if you call in, I will give you a loving, accurate, kind of straightforward reading. I keep trying not to be blunt, but it doesn't work out. So we're going to do the Psychic Tarot weather. I got new cards. They're pretty. They're gold. Woohoo! If you've got Leo in your chart anywhere, I have Moon in Leo, it means you like gold. I like gold. So please send me some. Thank you. Preferably in big bars. It's funny. When I had a boyfriend who was starring in Wall Street 2, the sequel, and the director, Oliver Stone, I went to his trailer, and there was this wall of genuine gold bars. I have no idea why they were there. And he caught me when I was trying to... No, I didn't try to take one. But, okay. So, this is how the psychic weather works. Tarot psychic weather. Just like regular weather, except less damaging to crops. And the first card is the first part of the week. Second card is like the weekend. Third card, oh, hi, Mary. And, oh, I love North Carolina. I'll be with you in about 3 shapes of a lamb's tail. I'm just going to do the psychic weather.
Okay, thank you.
And what I'm going to ask you to do is think about your question. I don't know why this thing's bugging me. Take a deep, deep breath like this. And take another breath on top of that. Like that. And then blow out like this. Which is kind of sounding rude, but it's kind of like a cross between a whoopee cushion and blowing out a birthday candle. What this does is it triggers your vagus nerve, the V-U-A-V-A-G-U-S, which regulates the central nervous system. As opposed to your vagus nerve, I make this joke every week and I never get tired of it, which is where you wake up in a hotel room in a Nevada town, surrounded by 3 dead sex workers, 25,000 empty alcohol bottles, wondering what happened in the last decade of your life. But enough about my personal life. Okay, so first card in the psychic, oh, I love this. The psychic tarot weather this week is this. It's pretty. Woo woo. The moon card. It's 2 dogs barking at the moon, which is their prerogative. What is a very multi-layered card. What I'm going to say is that something is going on deep within you, psychically speaking, not necessarily like your lower intestine, although maybe that too, which is changing you from the inside out. The moon card is our sort of unconscious, subconscious. It can also mean that somebody in your vicinity is fibbing to you. But it's a card mostly about sort of accessing your own intuition, paying attention to your dreams, and hooking up a lie detector test for your husband to take when he gets home. Okay, but enough about my personal life. Okay, next is the Temperance card. We're getting all major arcana. Look at that. Some major arcana are the cards in the tarot that are kind of like, they're sort of bigger cards. They're same size, but they sort of are about things that are kind of destined. But I'm not sure I believe in destiny, but it's been very good to me so far. This is a card about moderation and patience. If there's something that you've been trying to get, or someone you've been trying to get, or a problem you've been trying to resolve, this card says it's going to take a little more time, but it's going to be fine. Also, this is kind of a dry January card. Temperance is also about sort of abstaining from alcohol or cigarettes or whatever, fill in the gaps. It's a very good card, but it's a card about patience, and it's a very reassuring card because it says that whatever you're working on is going to work out. And the last card, just be patient. This is a really straightforward card. I've been doing this for 5 years. I can never get the placement right. There we go. It's the Lover's card. And this is a fairly straightforward card. It means that you're probably going to meet somebody. I'm not going to say immediately, even though this is this week. I think this week, you're either going to reawaken to how much you like your significant other. Because, you know, it's hard after like 10 years of marriage. I remember looking at my then husband, who was a fabulous guy. And while he was sleeping, going, could you just stop that whole breathing thing? It's bugging me. But anyway, so you're going to not feel like that about your spouse or significant other. And it looks like you're getting ready in an interior way for a big relationship if you're single. You can also be ready for a big relationship if you're married, but don't tell anyone. So to sum up this week, I'm going to do one more card because this is an overall. I was like, sum up this week. So I got the Wheel of Fortune card, which is very straightforward. It means if things have not been going your way for a while, if your luck has in fact kind of sucked, it's about to get a lot better overnight. I don't know why. It just always works out that way. So if you win the lottery, send me 10%. And hi, Mary. Are you still there?
Yes, ma'am.
Cool. All right. So it's so nice to meet you. I like to connect to people through their birthdays. Can you tell me when your birthday is?
March the 4th, 1960.
Oh, rock on. Pisces dragon. Year of the dragon.
Yes.
So you're very intuitive, and you're a little quiet, but you also have a lot of presence and you have a lot of natural leadership qualities, which you might not even be aware of, but everybody else is. So how can I help you today? I'm a fellow Pisces. I love Pisces.
Just was wanting a reading of just love and job, love and money, love job. Kind of.
So love.
What everybody's
job,
got questions
love,
on
money,
love and job. Am I in the right job?
Good question. You know what? I'm actually going to use the cards today. I usually just rely on my strange psychicness. Let's see. Let me see if I can get what you do. What do you do? Well, you take care of people in some way or other. I realize that's a little vague, but is that right?
Yes, I did. The severe and profound disability kids at school. I was a teacher assistant. I retired and working part-time, and I'm deciding which part-time job to do. I also work at the park.
I love that you did that. Thank you so much for taking care of people who are going through extraordinary life challenges. And they usually do it with such grace, but taking care of them, your karma is so good.
It's a blessing. It was a blessing to me every day.
It looks like, are you in a good relationship right now? It's kind of a personal question, but this card, which has two people staring at a rainbow with golden cups in it, suggests that either you're in a pretty good relationship or you've been taking hallucinogens, one or the other. So are you in a pretty good relationship right now?
Or been taking what? What did you say? Pretty good relationship
I'm having a little trouble hearing you. Yeah, pretty good relationship.
And what'd you say second? Or?
What I said second, I was just kidding. Because the card is it's two people kind of looking at this crazy rainbow with a lot of gold cups in it. I said that either you're in a pretty good relationship, because that's a good relationship card, or you're taking hallucinogens, which I was just kidding about, because you're not. All right, let me see what I'm getting. It's the second
I've been single for 20 years. It's probably 22 now.
Oh, wow. Well, we're going to get back to that. I'm going to talk about your job right now. But I'm getting a couple of things, which is something. I'm getting the Judgment card, which I'll explain in a second, and the King of Pentacles. So was your boss, did you have a male boss at your teaching assistant job?
No. I do now at the park.
There's some male person in. Okay. I really love the park thing for you because you are very much nature girl. Nature grounds you, inspires you, and you really have such a strong connection to the natural world. I love that. Can you keep that as a job?
Oh, yes, I do it. Yes, I can part-time. I can do substitute and do both or just one. I get months off at the park, so I'll go back in February. And, I mean, you got your park rangers, they're in leadership role. And that's good.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Good relationships.
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Maybe not a man, it's just masculine energy.
I think it's just a helpful man in your vicinity. But the card that I wanted to pay attention to is the Judgment card, which suggests that you're starting in your retirement to get in touch with long suppressed like talents or desires or dreams. And what would one of those, if you had a dream when you were a child of being something, or if you had a talent when you were a kid that you haven't used for a while, I would suggest looking at that too if you want a side hustle as well. As a kid, I used to do a lot of arts and crafts, and I'm terrible at it. I would show my parents, like, they'd be like, well, that's certainly an object. But I loved it.
Yeah, I've read that. I can't figure out what that is. I've read about that. I can't figure out what that would be. I just worked since I was 13. Several jobs. I don't know.
Yeah, I worked when I was 14. I know the feeling. I'm just saying, I think there's a creative side of you, too, that wants to be expressed. I think that you've got a really good kind of sense of color. It must seem crazy, but I feel like there's a creative part of you that could also bring in a little extra money. I love the park job for you. I know it's off till February. I used to work at the Parks Department in New York City. Parks are great. I love you doing the substitute teacher thing. What I'm getting is there's a third thing you can do from home that will bring in a little income. Getting a very specific read on this. It's kind of funny. My read is, if you wanted to research, there's something in internet like printing, some sort of selling like kind of templates for stuff on the internet. I'm not sure how to put this into words because my guides are talking in this ear and I'm trying to talk to you out of this mouth. But there is some sort of side hustle you can do that will bring in money. The other thing you can do is, I feel like you're downsizing and decluttering. Is that true?
Downsizing? I did declutter, yes.
Oh, you already did? Okay.
Yes.
Because I was going to say, you still have some stuff you could sell on eBay. I think it's crazy, but I think you've got a really good sort of fashion sense. At the very least, you really like and understand clothing and style. One thing you could do is just go to the local Goodwill, find stuff for nothing, and then resell it.
I took 2 closets full of clothes to the Goodwill. I took 2 full closets to the Goodwill. Clothes I hadn't worn in 20 years. Just picked them up and took them all. Hangers and all.
Gotcha. Wow. I wish I'd been at the Goodwill. I get the feeling that you've obviously got a very, very strong, compassionate talent. And that's a talent, which is getting pretty rare these days.
A fashion one, a talent, okay.
I know there's a huge demand for home care. And I know you don't have to be a nurse, but that would be a lucrative part-time side thing, I think.
Yes.
But so what I'm getting is your caretaking abilities are strong. Since you already donated everything you could sell on eBay to Goodwill, I guess that's that. But I am getting the feeling that there is something you can do online that would, even if it's just going to Goodwill, getting a $3 dress and selling it for $20 on eBay. But I also think the home care thing might be a little strenuous for you. But I would look in the direction of where your real talent is, which is in taking care of people with just care, with love and consideration and empathy. All right, now, love, I got to jump off. I'm going to take our next caller. I hope that helped. And you're going to be fine.
Okay, thank you very much. Have a nice evening. Bye-bye.
All right, sweetie. Take care. Bye-bye. What a nice lady. I love North Carolina people. Okay. I don't know if we have a next caller lined up because I'm so like, what just happened with all? Oh, Jennifer, are you still there, my dear?
I am.
You being all patient. Jennifer, yay! I was just going to keep singing your name. I love the name Jennifer. Okay.
Thank you.
I also met somebody this week. The beautiful first name was Bielka. I love that. Okay.
Oh, that was pretty.
Apparently there's a delay. Where are you calling from, Jen?
New Jersey.
Oh, cool. Yay. My mom was a Jersey girl. Okay. Well, I can connect to people through their birthdays. So if you don't mind telling me what your birthday is, that would be great.
July 18th, 1985.
I'm sorry. The 18th of what? There's a little delay here. Say it again.
July.
Oh, July. Cool. 18s are very special people. I'm an 18, so it's supposed to mean we've got either a lot of past lives or we overcome a lot of obstacles successfully in this life. So, and you're a Cancer, 1985. Oh my God, I've got shoes older than you. Okay. So 1985 minus 24, 1961. We'll figure out your Chinese year in a minute. How can I help you, Mila?
So I am us 18s. We live a lot of lives. You just said it. I'm in another transition in my life. I opened a candy store.
Yeah.
I really put my whole life and soul into it. And it's hard, and I just want to see where that's going to take me. And I just want to see my fiance and I, we're going through, we just went through a really rough patch, and just, where we're at is that
I'm really sorry.
Right.
Can he be very stubborn?
2024 was a rough year.
Yeah, it kind of was for everybody. Good news, 2025 is going to be a very good year, especially starting in March for us water signs. But is your fella, can you tell me his first name or his birthday?
Jesse, and he's June 6th.
Oh, cool. Oh, June 6th. I have so many great friends with that birthday. Here's the thing. I think what's happening is for some reason, he's angry about something and he's not really telling you. And it's not something you did, but he's kind of using you as the fall guy for something he's upset about in the other part of his life. And I think he's a really good guy, but I also think he's stubborn and he can be kind of a non-listener. Not in a bad way. It's just that because he's been going through a rough time, he's kind of retreated into himself. If you have any extra moolah at all, I would get out of Dodge and go to Florida for two days or something. You need to kind of break your routine. But the other thing I was going to say was, you asked a specific question earlier, and I got the answer. Oh, I'm sorry. I have a very tiny memory.
It was my candy store.
Right. Oh, okay. Here's the thing. Candy store will do great. You're not doing enough. This is not on you because there are only so many hours in a day. I think that what you need to do is have a couple of specialties, like vintage candy or candy from other countries. Turn up the kind of vintage nostalgic vibe. I love this candy store. And I think there are a couple things you can do very, very quickly that will send you right into the black, into the financial black. Okay. So a couple of other things I'd suggest. I would have, honestly, I'd do either a TikTok or YouTube channel where you describe your favorite candies and their origins, or can interview people about what their favorite childhood candies were. I still am crazy about Charleston Chews, but I no longer have the metabolism I did when I was 5. So candy is a very emotional thing for people. And I think that you are a terrific businesswoman. I really do. I just think that because you're kind of modest, you don't want to push yourself forward. I think you might want to rethink that. As women, we're sort of taught not to put yourself, don't be conceited. Don't put yourself forward. Don't bother people. But I really think, and I'm not just saying this, I think that you could have a very successful candy store. And I think it's going to be okay in any way, but I think that you using it as a platform and as a set for other TikTok or YouTube series, and all you have to do is be yourself. If you don't think you're pretty enough, tall enough, short enough, too old, too young, throw all of that out the window because you're very charming. You really are.
Thank you.
And you're attractive. I get that you're really kind of real pretty. So,
thank you.
And you're young. That's not going to last forever. Use it while you have it. So that's what I suggest for the candy store. I'm just getting that you've done a great job, but you really might want to, or maybe every month or two, advertise a new special. Like today, we're featuring British candies and Swedish candies and favorites of the 70s.
Oh my God, you're so funny. I just started my TikTok shop, and we sell Swedish candy, and I'm just kicking off with that. It's been about a week, and I literally sold out, and I've already put in 2 more orders, and I'm already sold out of them.
Yay! 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 I am so glad.
Thank you.
Keep it up.
Oh my God, you just reassured me.
The other thing is, you got a very comforting presence, and candy is all about comfort. It's not just what we eat when we're going through a rough time. Not me, but certainly other people. Yeah, me. But it also takes us back to our childhood, and that feeling happy and protected and safe and is fun. And you're really good at all of those like feelings and communicating that. So yeah, I'm so glad you did that. Rock and roll, girl. We got 60 seconds. Was there one last question I can answer in 60 seconds?
As me and my fiance, like, should we stay together, or am I kind of beating a dead horse?
Yeah, I would give it another month or two. What worries me is he seems like he's getting a little emotionally or verbally kind of unkind to you. If he's doing that a lot, get out. If he's just being sort of grumpy and withholding, I would stay. Just tell me his first name. I can tune in on him better.
Jesse.
Oh, right. You said Jesse. Nice name.
Yeah, Jesse. Jesse
Geminis are also a little, they have a hard time recognizing their emotions. I've got 10 more seconds. They usually don't recognize their emotions until their emotions arrive by a certified mail a week later on an engraved envelope.
Yeah.
So be a little patient. He needs to learn about how to express himself. And I got to go. Love you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was amazing.
Back next week, everybody. I love you. Take care. I'm Perry Lyons. Bye-bye.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for Intuitive Readings with Nay Mary. Live from intuitivereadings.com.au. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Intuitive Reading on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi, and welcome to A1R Psychic Radio. Wherever you are today or tonight, thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. So I'm Nay from Intuitive Readings, and I'm a psychic medium. I help people find peace and purpose by connecting them with the spirit world and delivering healing messages and empowering them to make good, positive life changes. So it's almost, today here in Australia, it's almost the 13th of January. So that's significant because that will mark the first full moon of the year, which we call the wolf moon. Now, the wolf moon is the name given to the first full moon, typically appearing in January, so it's a Cancer moon. And its name comes from the Native American and European traditions, where it's said to echo those haunting howls of wolves in the dead of the night. So imagine a cold, still night and snow blanketing the earth and the mournful cries of the wolves under the glowing moon. It's kind of poetic and a bit magical, isn't it? And so the significance of that and why that's so interesting is because, well, it's a time for transformation. And astronomically, the wolf moon is also just one of the brightest moons of the year. And so there is a chance to shine in on all its glory, and not just about its brightness, it's also about what it symbolises. So it's a time for affirmations, transformation within your own life. And yeah, so it is really significant. Wolves generally also, they're a pack animal. And so for that reason, we also look at the community and how you're sort of embedding yourself in a community as well. That's also significant around this time. So to kick things off, I'm going to draw a card from my tarot deck just to see what the collective energy is of the listeners today. And this will signify sort of what, or bring a message through rather, for what recommendations and what you might be thinking about this month and deliver messages for you. So, and this is a timeless reading, so when you're receiving this message or watching this, it's when it's intended for you. Okay, so I've received the Hermit, but this is in reverse. And what the Hermit symbolises is a fellow coming down from the mountain, and he is also a oh, I'm sorry, I've lost connection here. Okay, so so he symbolises the fellow coming from the mountain, and it is a time for you to consider what it is that you're internalising, and whether there's anything that you should be sharing, and whether there's things that you have or what you could be sharing with the broader community as well. So not to be so introverted, and to actually share your creativity and your dreams with other people outside of your sort of outside of yourself. So not to Sorry, I just dropped out there for a moment. So I might just go to one of the callers. I can see we have Sarah on the line. Sarah, how are you today?
I'm good, you?
Yeah, good, thank you. I've just had a little bit of a connection error before, but how can I help you today? Do you have any questions you'd like to ask Spirit?
I've been having a lot of, I feel like there's a lot of spirit around me. I'm just not quite sure who or what messages are wanting to come through to me.
Yeah, absolutely. And let me just tune in for you for a minute. What I am getting intuitively right now around your energy is that it's almost as though you've been exploring sort of spirituality for a time now. And it's almost as though the people in my space are sort of not allowing me to sort of accept what I'm receiving and and the messages that have been coming through. And there's a bit of, it's almost like criticism there as well. So have you found that you have tried to speak to people about things that you're seeing or hearing? They're making me aware of touch as well. So I don't know if you're feeling someone like physically touch you, but making me aware of, it's almost as though like I feel something sort of touch me and I turn in the direction that I've been touched, and making me aware that that this is the way that you're receiving messages at the moment, and as though you've communicated those messages to the people in your circles and your spaces, and not feeling sort of supported in that.
I keep on getting messages telling me that I'm not ready.
Right.
I don't know.
So you mean so people around you are telling you that you're not ready, or you feel as though those messages are telling you you're not ready?
Both.
Okay, because I do feel as though Spirit is trying to communicate to you so that you can sort of explore this more. And they are making me aware of it. It's almost as though it's been amplified. I feel as though you had sort of been drip fed or left sort of these little crumbs on a track. And now it's sort of, it is amplifying. And I feel as though that will intensify during the year as well. They're making me aware. So, and they're making me aware of the month of July as well, as though that is sort of almost like a turning point in this, as though you do take steps to, okay, so they're talking about protection here as well. And as though there is a point in July where you look to sort of open up a bit more and be more open to this, because they are giving me the sense that there is some concern around protecting yourself when you're receiving messages. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And so what I'd like to do with you now is just sort of explain to you there's nothing to be frightened of when it comes to spirit at all. And this is only, you're only going to attract what you put out. So that positivity and staying at a high vibration is only going to ever attract high vibrational sort of experiences for you. Okay, so this is a positive thing. But what I tend to do, and I'd like to step you through this now because they're just sort of showing me my process in my mind, is what you can do is if there are times where you are feeling afraid or just really uncertain around what's going on, what you can do is actually just ground yourself and let the spirit and sort of let your soul sort of guide you. But what you might like to do is just sort of picture a big bubble of white light around yourself and just breathe and sit in that bubble. And you can ask your spirit guides to protect you while you're in that bubble. A number of psychic mediums do work with this technique where they will do this several times a day.
Okay.
And it's not a tangible solution to your but you certainly do get results from that, and it works instantly. You can trust that your guides do step in and they protect you instantly. It's it is a beautiful technique. Grounding. They're also making me aware of meditational practices as well. So do you meditate at the moment? Is that why they're showing me that?
No, they're probably I feel deep down inside meditation is probably one of my things that is probably one of the things I should be seeking to help, because I have bad anxiety.
Okay. They are making me aware of meditation being good for you in this space. So if you're not already doing it, I would implore you to consider doing it. They are telling me as well, or making me aware as well, that there might be a bit of resistance to meditation because just a lot of frantic things going on around you, or the sort of the hecticness of life, and just making me aware of that. And so what you can do is, if it's too hard for you to sort of sit, sit with your eyes closed in a quiet space, what you can do is meditate in other ways. So you're not sort of restricted to doing it in that way. What you can do is, go for a walk in nature, look at birds. All you need to do, sit outside. If you're pinning clothes on the line, perhaps take your shoes off and just make contact with the earth. Okay, so meditation does not have to be, in a strict sense, it doesn't have to be you sitting alone in a very quiet room, telling yourself not to think about thoughts. Okay, it can be by doing sort of more meditative practices like walking slowly and admiring.
That's very helpful. Thank you, because I do find that sitting in a quiet room is difficult, especially when you have a very busy mind. It's very difficult to sit in a quiet room.
That's right, and that's for everyone, I think, as well. I mean, if you're not thinking about something, you're thinking about not thinking about something, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I think why it's so helpful to do things like the walking meditations is that you're not thinking of anything in particular. It's just, it gives you an opportunity to focus on something, one step in front of the other, the sounds of the birds or, the cars in the distance or whatever it may be. There is a...
And then nature is a good thing. Yeah.
That's right. Also, they are showing me a glass of water for you as well. So I don't know... and usually when they show me this, it's all about grounding as well. So if you do have the opportunity to drink more water, definitely take your shoes off when you are outside if you can, and just connect. And that's really going to help. In terms of anxiety as well, obviously I'm not a health professional, so I can't comment on this, but what Spirit is indicating on this front is that these practices will assist you in managing that as well.
Yeah. But I'm finding, so lately we just purchased a house, and for some reason I'm packing, and everywhere I go in the house, there's dimes, only dimes. And I'm not sure why.
Sorry, I missed that. There's
Pardon?
what, sorry?
Dimes.
A dime. Okay. So
I'm finding lots of them.
Yeah, okay. And so I think this is spirit, and I don't think it's linked to the house in particular, these dimes. I am being made aware of a lady that leaves these for you, but I feel as though she's connected to you somehow. Who's this, please?
Oh, okay.
She does feel grandmotherly to me. So perhaps just check the years on the back of those dimes, because she is drawing my attention to the dates of those dimes, and consider how significant they might be to your own life, okay? So unfortunately, that's about the amount of time that I have for the readings today. But to the rest of the listeners, what I'd like to say is please do reflect on that Hermit card energy that I spoke about earlier, and how you may be able to challenge yourself to sort of get back out into your community and do more things within the community, and share yourself and your gifts and your creativity with the world. So that concludes my readings and show today. But don't worry, there are more amazing readers and light workers coming right up. Thank you.
A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for Zodiac Zone with Melissa Markham. Live from mmastrovibes.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Zodiac Zone on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi, everyone. Happy New Year. Happy 2025. Oh my gosh, we have so much going on astrologically this year. I can't even begin to tell you. It's going to be a really interesting year. I feel some of the things that are going on are quite unique. We have Uranus, Neptune, and Saturn all changing signs. And what that means is it means different energy. We have Pluto in the end of 2024 go into Aquarius. So Pluto stays in a sign about 21 years. So it transforms whatever, sign it's in. Aquarius is typically about groups of people. It's about technology. It's about advanced people. So don't be surprised in the next 21 years that we make contact with extraterrestrials. Very, very possible. Also, when we look at Saturn and Neptune are going into Aries. So that tells me Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. And that tells me we're in for a new age. We're in for a new age with Neptune. Neptune covers all things spiritual. It also covers, it's the house of prisons, house of the 12-step program. So I think we're going to see some dramatic changes on maybe some of the drug crisis in America. I think things are going to actually progress as far as helping people. I think we're going to see more gurus, more spiritual healers come out. I just think that things are going to be are going to be very Different. Also, we have Uranus going into Gemini. That's really huge. Uranus stays in a sign about 7 years. Last time it was in Gemini was during World War II. Time before that, it was the Civil War, and the time before that was the American Revolution. So it stays, it comes in and awakens things, and it changes things. So this is not to scare anybody, but just to tell people that these are kind of the dramatic changes that are happening. So I feel that all of this is going to be really around the precipice of really, really major changes. And like everything else, there's going to be some hardships, but there's also going to be some dramatic, as far as that we're in air energy, dramatic technological advances. So just kind of stay tuned for all of this. I know it's a lot to digest. I just did a class on this, on what's going on in 2025. And I feel like people can feel this energy. It's nothing new. And it's just a matter of sitting in discernment, knowing what's going on, but also looking inside and how you can make dramatic changes to yourself with all of this, I would say, chaos and stuff going on the planet. How can you really find that purposeful aspect of who you are and make the changes inside of yourself? So I would definitely challenge you to take on that task. I do personal readings. I do business readings. So if you have this inner voice telling you, hey, this is how you feel, or what, maybe you should try this, you could always get a reading from either a personal or business perspective. My And in speaking about that, I'm going to take a reading. I typically have time for one reading. It's a short show, 15 minutes of the zodiac zone, getting your zodiac fix for 15 minutes. So I am going to Vanessa. Hi, Vanessa.
Hello.
How are you in this new year?
I'm okay. I'm hoping that 2025 will be better than 2024.
Okay, well, let's do this. Let's do a quick reading and see what we have. And I'm going to tell you, I'm an evolutionary vibrational astrologer, so I really focus on the soul purpose of why somebody's here. What is your birthday, day, month, and year?
August 12th, 71.
Okay, 1971. What is your time that you were born?
I believe it was around 9:20 p.m.
9:15 p.m. Okay. And the city and state?
City is Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada.
Okay, so Winnipeg. Let me pull up Canada here. Okay, I got it. Okay, so like I said, I really focus on the sole purpose of why somebody's here. I feel that you have a lot of nervous energy. Your South Node is in Leo in the 6th house of Virgo, and your North Node is in Aquarius in the 12th house of Pisces. And what that means is, so typically a South Node in Leo, I'm not saying they typically feel like in a way like everything's about them, that they're causing a lot of stuff that's going on in their life, you know, and they sometimes like to self-isolate. I find some Leos are always searching for love, you know, finding that perfect love. And yours being in the 6th house of Virgo, like I said, you can have all this nervous energy. You know, I feel like you're the type of person that likes to be on a routine. You have your son there. But I think where you're going to find your highest state of consciousness and where you feel best is moving into that Aquarian energy, kind of embracing the spiritual part of your soul, embracing your weird, and doing something with groups in a spiritual kind of environment where you're getting a lot of guidance, that inner guidance from your higher self, because that's where your North Node is, in the 12th house. And, you know, I feel like you have a lot of that energy inside of you. How does that feel for you? Is that something that you can connect to, or what are some of your thoughts about that?
The spiritual piece of it, yes, I find myself to be a spiritual person for sure. I feel that a challenging thing for you. I also look to Chiron being the wounded healer, half man, half horse, censure. Your Chiron, so the story behind Chiron in Greek mythology is he was immortal. He basically existed in his wounds, and until he was released, he really didn't understand the purpose and meaning of his life. And we all have this in our chart. Yours is in the 2nd house in Aries. So I feel that there's things wrong with your self-worth, that you don't feel worthy, or you have trouble, you know, it's about money, something about maybe previous life you struggled with money. So it's really, and how to overcome that is to do your spiritual purpose. And like I said, the spiritual purpose would be for you to do something in a group environment that's very spiritual, whether it would be, teaching classes as far as Reiki, or doing something like I do where I teach classes in astrology, doing something with a group dynamic involved. Let's see what else I can tell you about yourself. I feel with Saturn in the 4th house in Gemini, I don't know if you always felt like the adult in your family dynamic, or you felt a lot of responsibility when it came to family, whether it's, from childhood or just in the family dynamic as a whole, Uranus in the 8th house, I feel like sometimes your life could have taken a dramatic change that was unexpected. I don't know, again, I want to keep this very general because astrology, is very specific and unique and very private to people who, get a session. And I feel relationships, whether they're business, personal, there's been some difficulty in those too. How does this feel? Am I on track with this? Is it,
Yeah, you are. Like when you previously mentioned, like my nervous energy, that has a lot to do with what I've encountered in the past couple of years, as well as, not feeling worthy and, the money issues and all that. So yeah, you are in tune with what's going on.
Yeah, and I would say too, I know I have, I just wanted to kind of give you, a little bit. I feel like a more in-depth reading would be really good for you. So we can kind of dive into some of these things in more detail if you're open for that in the future, because I feel that if you want to get on that spiritual realm and find your spiritual purpose, everything shifts. Everything around you shifts, the people around you shift, and it's truly where you feel the best about yourself. So I invite you to do that in the future. But thank you for calling, and I wish you a really happy and healthy 2025.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Sure.
A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome. Time for Sessions with Spirit with Gene Rose. Live from Facebook.com/Tarot Readings by Gene Rose. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 2035192158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, Facebook.com/Psychic Radio. Or one of our websites, AskOneRadio.com or Moonstruck.tv. This is Sessions with Spirit on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Good evening, everyone. How is everyone doing this evening? Oh my goodness. Guys, this is the second show that we are doing. I am so excited. As always, we are going to be kicking off this evening's program with a question from one of my followers. Yes. So before we get to the callers, we will be doing a couple of readings. The first one is from Kristen in Maine, and she asked, will my relationship find healing? So let's see. I love when they shuffle like that. Oh my goodness. So Kristen, the answer is yes. However, I do feel as though it's going to take some time for sure. Reason being is the first card was the Ten of Swords. Past hurts and past betrayals are definitely playing a part in things. The first card, the Ten of Swords, like I said, can refer to disappointments, betrayals. Remember, the sword suit does also refer to conflict. So conflict, drama, things of that nature. Thankfully, because it is a 10, it does refer to a situation coming full circle and stability coming from that outcome specifically. Reason why I say that is because your second card was the Knight of Pentacles. That's going to talk about movement and progress towards stability. The third card was the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is all about patterns. Patterns, cycles, things happening over and over. It's going to be up to the two of you to get on the same page and stop fighting about the same things. Yeah, really. The fourth card is going to be the Lovers. The Lovers card is going to refer to like synergy, harmony. Fantastic and a card to receive, and especially in the context of a love reading. But then also your final card was the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is going to refer to putting a plan together. And really, that's what the two of you need to do. You know, not start from scratch, but definitely create a plan, especially one in regards to reconnecting. Okay? Guys, I think it's about time we take a caller. Okay? Who do we have? Lisa. Lisa, welcome. My name is James. How are you doing this evening?
Hello. Good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. What would you like to read on?
I want to see if I'm going to find a soulmate.
Okay.
Happy New Moon.
Happy New Moon. It's an Aquarius, too. Yes. It's the 111 portal. So overall, you are getting a yes. So it is going to be a situation where love finds you. You do not find love. Does that make sense?
I guess.
What I mean by that is instead of you going out and looking for a partner, that partner is instead going to find you.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, the first card was the Eight of Pentacles, which refers to things coming to fruition. That's an excellent card to receive. Reason being is because it's all about things coming to fruition, things manifesting, things happening. Second card was the Seven of Swords. That card thankfully fell reversed, so you're no longer going to be self-sabotaging. Instead, you're going to be embracing those opportunities where love can be. And then the third card, this one got me really excited. It was the Nine of Pentacles, and that refers to the start of long-term stability. So it's definitely going to be a long-term connection. It's not going to be like, poof, gone, over.
Wow.
Yeah. So you definitely have some fantastic things ahead.
Wow. Do you know approximately, like, within how long?
I would say 6 months to a year.
Okay, great. And I don't know the person, do I?
No, you do not. This is a completely new person.
Wow. Wow, thank you so much.
You're so welcome. You have a wonderful evening, and thank you for calling in. I do appreciate it.
I appreciate it, too. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
No problem. Bye-bye. Guys, that was awesome. Another reading knocked out of the park. Oh, my goodness. Why don't we do another question from one of my followers, okay? This one is going to be anonymous. It says, or they ask, do the next 3 months look positive for me? Okay, so the overall answer is an overwhelming yes, which is a great news, of course. The first card was the Four of Wands, which is going to refer to stability and foundation. Definitely do not overthink things or overdo things. Reason why I say this is because your second card was the Nine of Cups. Sometimes that can refer to overthinking things, especially with the cups being the emotion suit. The third card was the Two of Wands. That has to do with making a plan or putting a plan together. The fourth card was the Nine of Cups. That can refer to a little bit of confusion or chaos. Definitely see it more as chaos. In fact, I'll pull an extra card. The extra card was the World. That refers to opportunities coming about. So you definitely have some fantastic things coming up down the line. It's just a matter of those situations come to light. Your last card was all about illumination. So like I said before, definitely going to be a situation where you have some fantastic things coming up for you. Okay? Next, we are going to read for Jeannie, and she is in Brooklyn. Oh my gosh. Hi, Jeannie. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for asking. How was your New Year's?
Thank you. I'm sorry, what?
How was your New Year's?
Oh, it was very peaceful. I brought in the New Year's peaceful.
Oh, how nice. Oh my gosh, what a fantastic way to bring the New Year's in. That's the way to do it. Peaceful, yes. What are we reading on tonight?
Love life.
The what?
My love life.
Your love life, okay. Are you currently single or are you taken?
Single.
Okay. I do see an unexpected opportunity for love. For some reason, I want to say that it's somebody that you know.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Yeah, Jeannie, it's going to be somebody that you know. The reason why I say that is because your first card was the Ace of Wands. And I love anytime aces drop in a reading, only because they refer to unexpected happenings. Depending upon the suit, that's what kind of unexpected happening is about to unfold. So, for instance, with the Wand suit, it talks about unexpected opportunities. With the Cup suit, that's going to be unexpected blessings. So they're awesome cards to receive, regardless as to whatever suit they are from. That was your first card. The second card was the Hermit. That's going to refer to finding light at the end of the tunnel. So that is another wonderful card to receive. It's also a card about transformation or change. So just how you're single now, you won't be for long. Okay, third card was the Four of Wands. That card refers to foundation, stability. It also can be a card that refers to home. That's why I said I feel as though it's going to be someone who's close to home instead of someone who is new because of that card. Does that make sense so far, Jeannie?
Yes.
Awesome. The Queen of Pentacles was your fourth card. That is going to be all about a game. Yes, it's definitely going to be somebody who brings stability to your life, somebody who makes you feel grounded and balanced. The final card was Death. Now, I realize with that card, I will say the name of the card and people automatically gasp because they're like, oh, Death, like, oh my gosh. No, it's actually one of the more beautiful cards in a tarot deck. And the reason why is because it refers to a rebirth, the ending of one chapter and the beautiful beginning of a new one. So that's really important to sort of take sight of and really realize that's something you want to embrace. I did go ahead and pull a couple extra cards for you. And the first one was the Knight of Wands. Now, the Wand suit does correspond to passion. So it's definitely going to be a fiery connection. Your next card was the Three of Cups. I feel as though your first date will be at either a restaurant or a bar. And then your last card was the Queen of Swords. That's going to refer to being logical. Essentially, do not let the past experiences define both the present as well as the future.
Okay, that sounds great.
Right? Oh my gosh, like I said, definitely have that special someone coming up. It's just a matter of them running, you guys basically running into each other according to divine timing.
Okay, that's funny because you said someone I already know, which
Yes.
kind of in a situation like that now.
Are you really? Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Yes. So there's your confirmation for sure.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And then don't forget, now we are out of Mercury retrograde. That ended on January 1st. So it'll be a lot easier to communicate. A lot easier to communicate. So look forward to that. I think things
Thank
will.
you.
I'm gonna pull a couple extra. No problem, Jeannie. If you don't mind, I'll pull a couple extra cards for you, just to see if we can get a little bit more in regards to timing. The first one was my favorite, the Queen of Wands. I actually have this card tattooed on my hand. It is an epic card. It refers to a woman who has not only gone through a lot, but also continuously had bricks thrown at her. She turns around and she uses those bricks to build her foundation. So that's epically important. It's also a card about resiliency, strength, another card about that passion and that creativity, but it's also about fortitude. So marching on. The next card was the Nine of Pentacles. That's going to refer to the start of long-term stability. So again, a connection that has that long-term potential. And then that final card was the Eight of Cups. That's going to refer to letting go of anything that is no longer serving you, including experiences or people.
That's amazing. That everything is like right on place. Like it's perfect. It's really confirmation of what I already had thoughts of.
I'm glad. I'm glad I was able to give you that confirmation. That's really important. You know, sometimes we need that from spirit, just to know that, number one, we're moving in the right direction. And especially with any situation that's new, that's always another good time to get that confirmation from spirit. Because you don't want to be, number one, wasting your time or like spinning your wheels like you're on a hamster. You don't want to do that. You know, so just at least having that confirmation that, you know, you're moving not just in the right direction, but also with the right person. So that's a added bonus for sure.
Definitely.
Yes. Jeannie, I wish you much luck. Please feel free to follow me on Facebook. My page is Tarot Readings by Jean Rose. I would love to be able to read for you again.
Yes, I would love that as well. You are amazing.
Oh, thank you, Jeannie. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful night. Do you have any plans for this weekend? Oh, no problem. Do you have any plans for this weekend?
I actually was supposed to go to a basketball game, but it got rescheduled. So, yeah, everything is up in the air right now.
Oh, my gosh. Well, maybe take the weekend for self-care. That would be good.
Yes, that would be good. And, by the way, your energy is amazing. I'm an energy person. You are amazing.
Oh, thank you, love. I truly appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Oh, no problem. It was my pleasure.
Have a good night.
Thank you. You too. Bye, Jeannie.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, that was amazing, guys. We have one more question from one of my followers. I'm just going to pick these cards up. Did you guys know that tarot decks actually get tired? Yes, that's why when I do the show or I go live, I use a multitude of decks so I can easily just switch out if a deck gets tired. Yeah. Okay, so the first one is, or last one, excuse me, is Lori, and she is from Winchester, Virginia. She would like to know, will things work out okay for my daughter? Let's see. Okay, Lori. I definitely see the stress that it's been causing you because your third card was the Nine of Swords, and that card is all about mental anguish. It's about mental anguish. It's about stress. It's also about worry, fear, doubt. The imagery is a bit stark, but I'm going to show you just because I want you to get an understanding for the card. It's that insomnia, that's up all night, that tossing, that turning, that restlessness. That's what that card symbolizes. With it falling in the middle, it kind of aligns to that old saying, the truth lies somewhere in the middle. So that's the crux of where you are right now. That's the base. The very first card of the reading was the Queen of Swords. You definitely want to stick to the more logical side of things rather than the conflict or the drama. That's something you want to stay away from, especially with your second card being the King of Cups. That card is going to be all about kind of that manipulation. Do not let her manipulate you, especially with her words. Be mindful of what she says and making sure she follows it through with action. That's going to be of the utmost importance. The fourth card was the Sun, so that is some good news. I always like to describe the Sun as a power card. It's kind of like the Ten of Cups on steroids. It really is. And the reason being is because it refers to contentment, joy, happiness, a situation coming full circle, or coming to fruition. It also refers to a hardcore success. So many wonderful things. And then your final card was the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is going to refer to movement and progress towards opportunities. That is going to be key. And the reason why I say that, and I'm going to pull one more card. That extra card was the Hermit, and that's going to refer to light at the end of the tunnel. It is going to take some time for things to work out. She is going to have to go through some things, unfortunately face the consequences of things that she's done or been doing, and that's going to be important. And then that harmony will come back into play. Okay, guys, thank you all so much for submitting those questions. I truly appreciate that. Next week, of course, I will be asking for more. You guys can follow me, and especially if you like my style of reading, and you would like to schedule a private session, I do offer tarot readings as well as evidential mediumship. Evidential mediumship is a little bit more than just mediumship. It goes into the details of that person, what they look like, what they were like, what their personality was like, if they had a distinct laugh. It's very, very detailed. They're beautiful sessions, beautiful sessions. Usually my busiest time of year for them is around the thinning of the veil, which is in late October. Yes, but I do them year round, right? Spirit is always with us, not just in October. So you can, like I said, contact me and book a private session. Absolutely. I do also offer oracle card readings as well, including past life readings. Yes, I'm kind of Gina all trades, master of all, right? We're not a jack, so we're not master of none. We're a Jean, so we're master of all, right? Guys, I want to thank you all so much for joining me this evening. I had an absolute blast, especially with live callers. You know, it is such a blessing to be able to do this show. I can't tell you what it means to me to be reading in a different arena. It really does mean the world to me. And to be able to connect with my clients, my followers, and then also new people as well. It's just been such a blessing. It really has. So I really hope that you guys take a chance on me. Contact me. Definitely let's set something up. I have some wonderful specials for January. In fact, let's go over them now. My first one is 45 minutes of mediumship, and that is on sale for only $100. That is a steal because normally I do not even offer a 45-minute session. Usually it's either 30 minutes or 60. So the fact that I'm offering a 45-minute session, definitely jump on it. And the fact that it's the price of the 30-minute session, all the more reason to jump at that opportunity. My other January special is going to be a 10-minute reading, and that is just for $15. So definitely, if you would like to get your feet wet with me, try a reading out. That's a wonderful place to start. It is, because you're not committing to a larger reading, you know, and it's just enough to get your feet wet, and it's a really enjoyable experience. A 10-minute reading is a fantastic reading, and it's also a client favorite. It is. Another one of my client favorites is the Friday the 13th special. That one is also very popular. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Friday the 13th, the next one that we have one of those, because I'll be dropping that special. I do try to drop specials on a monthly basis. Reason being is I want to keep myself accessible to people. I realize that tarot readings are a bit of a luxury, and especially with today's economy, things can be a little bit difficult to swing. So that's why I offer the specials. My last special is going to be on finding out what your theme for 2024 is. And that reading is just $24. Normally that would be a $45 reading. So guys, definitely snatch those specials up. They are at some great sale prices. Definitely book them now, okay? Right now, I am actually booking for March. Yes, end of March, beginning of April. But I do keep a few spots open for emergencies as well as specials. So I do have little clusters here and there where I'll have some open slots where I can just kind of throw people in. So I do, like I said, try to keep myself accessible to people. That was my number one thing. I always say that the day I'm not accessible is the day I walk away, but also the day that I don't get enamored with spirit and get excited when I do my readings and when people confirm the messages that spirit is giving, that's the day I retire as well. Because I love being so emotionally involved in my readings. I really do. They bring something private and special to the table that I think is not always seen and offered, which is kind of sad to me because readings are so private and so intimate. They should be a shared experience, and they're one to give insight, peace, as well as healing. So they're definitely worth it. They are. I realize they're a luxury, but they can bring healing. So they're definitely worth it, as I said. Guys, don't forget, like I said before, you can follow me at Tarot Readings by Jean Rose. That is a Facebook page. Feel free to follow me there. Shoot me a message. We can discuss your needs for a reading or whatever concerns you have. Like I said before, I offer both tarot readings and mediumship sessions. So definitely contact me today to book your private appointment. I would love to work with you. I really would. Guys, I've been reading online for about 10 years. I have been reading before that, so I don't want you to think I've only been reading for 10 years. Like I said, I've been reading way before that. I just don't like to say exactly when because we don't want to give out our age, right? A lady never reveals her age. But yes, like I said, I've been reading for a hot minute and I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. I love cards. I think I'm up to 259 decks. Yes, it's kind of crazy. I have them everywhere. The bookcase behind me, just everywhere. And then on top of like the 10 decks I have on my desk, it's a wild ride, but I love it. I really do. Seasons of the Witch will actually be releasing another deck come May. I am so excited. They will be releasing Litha. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. I cannot wait. Oh my goodness. I have all these sister decks. And guys, I'm a tarot chick. Hands down, I'm an absolute tarot chick. So for me to fall in love with oracle cards the way I have with Seasons of the Witch, absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. The decks are beautiful. They really are. They truly are. I have Salwyn, I have Beltane, I have Mabon, I have Imbolc, I have Yule, I have all of them. All of them that have been released thus far, I have. Yes, like I said, I'm a sucker for those decks. I really am. They're just gorgeous. In fact, just even the latest one, the Imbolc one that was released the beginning of November of last year, that one is blue. I'm thinking they're going to make Litha purple. I'm thinking, just as you know, the fifth element is spirit and that color is purple. So I don't know, fingers crossed, we'll see. We shall see. But guys, like I said before, follow me. Make sure your notifications are set to include my page as favorites. That way you never miss a live. I do go live Friday mornings, so I will be live tomorrow morning at 7:15. That is on Eastern Standard Time. Definitely join me. I will be offering live specials as well as free 3 card readings. Yes, we have a blast. It's coffee and cards, baby. absolutely. Oh my gosh, we have an absolute blast. It's party time, right? It is. We do. And again, yes, I do go live with about 10 decks. I do. Guys, like I said, you got to keep it moving. And plus, not for nothing, when you have as many decks as I do, I like to appreciate them, so I keep them on a constant rotation. I do. So it's not, they don't stay stagnant, you know? The last thing I want to do is 4 decks. You know? As nice as that would be, I wouldn't, the logistics of it. But I try to stay organized, I do. And then, like I said, that's why I keep them on a constant rotation. You know, it's important for me to also let the decks breathe. You know, that's very important too, because they need to be able to work as well. You know, and decks will let you know when they're tired. That's why, like I said before, I go live with so many decks, because I need to be able to switch out on a whim. Yeah. Guys, this has been so enjoyable this evening. Thank you all so much for joining me and tuning in again for my second broadcast. I truly appreciate you all. Thank you all so much. Thank you to my live callers. Thank you both so much for letting me read you. And to, of course, the followers that questions we answered this evening. Thank you to them as well. Guys, again, my name is Jean Rose. You can follow me at Tarot Readings by Jean Rose. I wish you all a wonderful night. Thank you again for joining me. This was an absolute blast. I definitely treasured our time together. So thank you so much. Thank you.
A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome. Time for Welcome Your Woo with psychic Sarah Jane. Sarah Jane. Live from SarahJanePatton.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, ask1radio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Welcome Your Woo on A1R, the Ask1 Radio Network.
Well, hello, everyone. I am Psychic Sarah Jane, host of Welcome Your Woo, where intuition, energy, and the mystical world comes together to guide you through life's most profound experiences. Thank you so much for tuning in to receive intuitive insights, spiritual guidance, and conversations that will open your heart and mind. So thank you so much, you guys, for being here this evening. Here we are 8 days into the new year and lots of things happening here in the collective energy. I'm not sure how everyone is feeling, but let's just talk a little bit about what's kind of going on in this collective space right now, because I think that there are kind of two different experiences you may be having right now. So let's just talk intuitively what I know is kind of going on. And then I'm going to pull some cards and do a little bit of information, just seeing what the message is from my guides today for us as we're just kind of navigating through this second week of the new year. So for some of you, you might be experiencing bliss and you might be experiencing adventure and fun. And then there may be some of you that are experiencing the complete opposite of that. Some of you might be seeing crumblings happening. You might feel like the rug has been pulled out from under your feet. No matter where you are, it's okay. Just remember that all of the things that happen, the things that show up in our lives to create disruption or to create change, happens for a reason. And this is where we can really step into our magic with our partnership with the divine God, creator, source, spirit, Franklin, Nancy, I don't care what you call it, that thing that's bigger than us. So when we can really trust that our path is always being divinely guided, and we can trust that what is unfolding in our lives is for our highest and greatest good, it allows us to fall into the level of acceptance we often need to continue navigating our day-to-day routine, our lives, and all of those experiences. I will say that one thing I'm seeing for the coming year, this will be a year, 2025, mark my words, a year for many people to expand and open in their intuitive gifts. That excites me. You know why? Because I teach people how to do this. It is my passion and my purpose, and I enjoy doing this. And it's really exhilarating and fun to watch and witness and observe other people tap into their own magic, their intuition, to trust it, to use their discernment when making decisions, and the transformation that I get to witness as people tap into these divine gifts I have is just the most amazing thing. And so what I'm seeing for 2025 is many people, you guys, this will be a mass year for opening up to our gifts. Many people will begin to open, and I'm excited to see how that plays out on a collective level. I've been saying this for a hot minute. This is called the Great Awakening. That's what I refer to it as, where more people are coming to realize that they are so much more than they imagined. And as we come into these greater awarenesses, and as we move through these knowings and understandings, our divine innate wisdom is being unlocked. It's true. It's being unlocked. I think about myself and how I have continued to expand. Just when you think that you are as open as you can possibly be, trust me when I say to you that there's more. It's an ongoing journey, and we continue to evolve and expand. And if you can approach this with a sense of wonder, a sense of playfulness, and allow your inner child to be curious and adventurous when you explore what is available to you, I promise you, the reward that awaits you on the other side is 1,000,000% worth it. Also, I'm being told to remind the collective that sometimes, many times, growth is not always comfortable. But if we're not growing, we are decaying. So in what ways can you embrace the change by being uncomfortable? We are creatures of habit. Human beings are creatures of habit. We like to go back to what's familiar, even if it's not healthy for us. Even if we know it's not the best choice for us, we will often choose what is familiar and what is comfortable versus the unknown or what's uncomfortable. So this is your invitation to perhaps take a look at your life and where you're heading and what dreams, aspirations, experiences you want to create for yourself, because newsflash, guess what, guys? We're all deliberate creators. We get to create our reality. So what do you want to create for yourself in 2025, and how do you want that year to play out? So can you start being specific about your vision, your dreams? Can you live in your own virtual reality, or some people call it the screen of your mind, creating the life that you want in your mind and through your imagination first. Did you know that imagination is your number one tool in your toolbox for accessing your psychic abilities and manifesting the deepest desires of your life? So start playing with your imagination, allow yourself to dream, have fun, and see what's in store for you by just asking the questions, by even doing your own card pulls, maybe having a reading. There's lots of psychics right now, you guys, doing their 2025 year ahead readings. I'm offering them, but there's many people. I'm not for everyone, it's okay, but I highly recommend doing one of these. Go see what is in store for you so that you have an idea of what to anticipate as the year plays out. So I'm going to pull some cards and just see what the cards have to say for the collective. I'm pulling from this Messages from the Mermaids. Okay, so we've got 3 cards here. I've got decisions. So someone is being faced with some decisions right now. This may be hard. This may be something that feels uncomfortable. Decisions are not always easy to make. The first answer is the right answer. Whoever's listening, whoever this message is for, whoever's tuning in to hear what I have to say. If you are on the fence about making a decision, this is your card and your chance to go ahead and make that decision. And then the message is to trust what decision you make. The first answer is always the right answer, but trust that if you make the decision and later you think it's the wrong decision, it wasn't. It was the right decision because it was there to teach you, to show you, to lead you, to guide you to whatever you were meant to. So this is where trusting yourself is going to be super important. Solitude. Many of you will be called into spending time alone, being an observer of your thoughts. Can you spend more time in meditation? You guys, 10 to 15 minutes of silent meditation every day will change your life. It will transform you. It will allow you to be the observer of your thoughts. It will allow you to receive the downloads from the divine. When you do not have solutions and you are unclear, if you can just set an intention to ask Spirit to guide you, go sit in solitude for a good 10 to 15 minutes and trust that your answer, your next step, the inspiration will drop in. But you must be silent with your mind and drop into that solitude for it to happen. The next card we have is memories. Memories, this is really interesting because there is going to be a lot of people beginning to remember their past lives. I often talk about the children of light and the rainbow children. I have one. My 7-year-old Camille has been a catalyst to my spiritual awakening and the expansion of my psychic abilities. And when she was 2, we had a whole experience. But she talks about how she used to be my mother and I was her daughter in a past life. And there are many children that are remembering and discussing and talking about their past lives. So if you have a child that is somewhere between 2 and maybe even like up to 11 or 12, 12 is probably pushing it, but I would say definitely that 2 to 10-year-old range, listen to what they're telling you. Pay attention to their artwork. Remember the things that they're saying and write them down. If they tell you about dreams, pay attention because those children are remembering their ancient memories. They're coming back to them. They're being unlocked. And as they are unlocked and shared, we are also stepping into that old innate wisdom. So the wisdom that you carried in whatever life where the memories are surfacing from will be unlocked back in, like into your being. You will be able to remember these things. So pay attention to what your kids are saying. Pay attention to your own like flashbacks, dreams, things that you feel like, I feel like I've done this before, deja vu. Just pay attention. I'm going to pull a couple more cards just before we take a call or two this evening. Okay. We've got live the question, curiosity, open your mind, live into it. I talked about this earlier, like how can you allow that curiosity, that sense of wonder, that inner child come out and play? Your inner child is who you were before you were stripped away from all of your beliefs of who you are. And if you can allow yourself to let that inner child come out with that sense of wonder and curiosity, like I mentioned before, it's where the magic is truly at, because that inner child is who your inner being is. That is who you are at a soul level, and it wants to come and play. The next card we have is nothing is impossible. Open to the unexpected, you'll find a way. Expect the unexpected. Okay? Expect the unexpected. Expect the dreams that you desired to have to come to you faster than they ever have before. We are manifesting much faster than we used to. We have less interference to our manifestations that we once did. And the opportunities are limitless. Start using that virtual reality, that screen of your mind, that imagination to create what you want. And the last card we have is the secret chamber. Potency, deep connection, and treasure. What a great way to wrap this up. This is so powerful and so significant, because when you are sitting in that solitude and you are remembering that innate wisdom that we talked about, it is very potent. It is where you can deeply connect and receive the treasure. There will be many people manifesting the deepest desires of their life faster and like bigger and the most extraordinary ways for 2025. I've been seeing this. This could be you. Choose into it. Be that deliberate creator. Create the life that you desire. Remember, where your attention goes, energy flows. So if you're seeing lots of things in your surroundings, whether it's on your social media or whether you are watching the news, if it doesn't feel good to your inner being, don't watch it. You can disconnect. When you disconnect, you can deeply connect to the other things that are for your highest and greatest good. All right. I think that is good for now. That's my collective message as we move into week 2 for 2025. Right now, we're going to go ahead and take a call from Beth in Eagle Rock, Virginia.
Hi.
Hello, Beth. Happy New Year. How are you?
I am great. It's good to hear from you guys. Thank you for calling me.
Yes, I'm excited to have you here today. So I am doing just some general card pulls or messages, really focusing on 2025 and what's in store. Do you have a specific question, or would you just like me to pull and see what comes through?
I have a specific question.
Okay, go ahead.
Will my businesses open this summer? Will I be ready?
I heard a solid yes.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
I'm hearing dance. Who sings this song? I'm hearing dance. I don't know the whole lyrics. I'm not a good lyric song, but my clear audience will pop in when I hear a song. I feel like it's a Justin Timberlake song from the movie Trolls.
Oh my gosh, that was yeah. I know what you're talking about. My grandson, when he was little, he watched that. That was his movie for like a month or two. That's amazing.
Okay, I was hearing the song play.
Be happy or whatever. Dance. Yes, I know what you're talking about. That's weird. That's awesome. I love it.
Oh, I might be psychic or something, you know?
You may be. Yeah, there's a good.
Hey, listen, I'm being told
I'm working on that.
You what?
I'm working on mine.
Yeah, I'm being told, yes, you are. Yes, you are. Keep working on it. What is the business? Can you get any information?
Can't stop the wedding venue. Yep. It's been a long time in the making. A lot of things have had to clear from that property, the particular property. This property, I think, will be easy going. But, yeah, there's been a lot of things that had to happen, I guess, now in retrospect, before we could actually go forward that I didn't see. But, you know, it's time now. I feel like the universe is like, got the car lined up on the road and is ready to just hit the gas. So that's what I feel. I'm like, yes, this is the year.
Yes, I'm hearing yes. Also, okay, I have some random things that are popping in, and this is kind of just how my gifts work and how they happen. So they may have absolutely nothing to do with what we're talking about here, Beth, but it may just be to validate something. Two different things I was seeing. The first one, I was seeing cookies. Was there something specific around cookies around Christmas, or something happened with cookies, or does that mean anything to you?
Cookies. I mean, my my husband's family baked a lot of cookies.
Okay,
I would say that would relate to the family, the husband family.
I'm seeing Cookie Monster now. So just put this in your back pocket. If it doesn't make sense, what I always tell people is put it in your back pocket, because you can randomly be doing something and suddenly it makes sense. The other thing that dropped in that I kept seeing was a skunk.
I saw a albino skunk. I've never seen one of those in my life at the top of one of the mountains that I come over sometimes to get to where we live back here on the street.
Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah. What I'm being told is for you to look up the spiritual meaning of an albino skunk and seeing one.
Okay, I will do that. Yeah, it was pretty wicked. It definitely caught my attention, and I was really like, wow, that was a sign. That was a message.
Okay, yes, it's definitely a message in there for you. There's something very specific, and they're saying to me to read like 2 or 3 different like posts. So like, let's just say that you went online and you looked up in a search engine, you said, what is the spiritual meaning of seeing an albino skunk? Look at like at least 2 to 3 writings. I recommend 3, and then pull out what resonates the most. I'm being told there's going to be 1 or 2 very, very specific lines that are going to resonate, and you're going to be like, that was the message for me.
Okay. I'll do that, definitely. Tonight, I'll do that.
Okay. And then let's see. I've got some cards here for you. So I want to channel a little bit around this, because I want to kind of go back to the business. I'm being told like this is your year. This is the year. This needs to be the year of Beth. Shine bright like a diamond.
9.
Huh?
I love 9. I love the song of the year is 9. I love 9.
Yes. Okay, so here's your cards, Beth. These are going to really, these are specifically around your business and what you're to anticipate for this year. The first one is that you have the Temple card, the wisdom within, quieten an external noise. So this message for you is to like make sure you're grounding and centering every day, taking that moment to quiet your mind, and really close your eyes and dream and imagine all of the success, the abundance, the people you're serving, and that you get to experience through this new business adventure. The more fun you can have, the more you can dream and play in the imagination, the more success and the more like just amazing miracles will unfold. The next one you have here is you have pave your own way. And it says leadership, courage, forge, don't follow. You are leading the way, and Spirit, first of all, is acknowledging you and your team also. I feel like there's a female guide that you have that is with you, and she is, she's actually hugging you. She's got her arm like around your shoulder, and she's patting you on your back, and she's saying, Beth, you've done a great job. I'm really proud of you. So they're acknowledging you for your courage to keep pushing forward, and just acknowledging for your leadership, keep standing up. And also, you're not going to necessarily do things like everyone else. They're saying you don't have to do it by the book. Do it by what you feel, and lean into your intuition as you navigate. Trust your intuition. And as long as you do that and you continue to forge and not follow and pave your own way, success is guaranteed. The next card you have is the Secret Chamber, which I pulled this for the collective, and you also got this, and it's potency, deep connection, and treasure. You will find out who your people are through this experience. Often when we take on new business adventures, the people we think that will support us don't end up supporting us, and the people we least expect it show up. Spirit just says, have zero expectation around this, and those that show up to love and support all of Beth will let them do that.
Okay.
All right. Well, that sounds like a great start for 2025. Beth, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a great rest of your year, and good luck with the business.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Positive energy, baby. Send it out there.
Yeah, you got this. Bye, Beth. All right. Up next, we have Gina in Denver, Colorado.
Hello?
Hi, Gina. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
So tonight I am just doing some card pulls, overall messages for 2025. Also, if you want to ask a specific question, you're welcome to do so. So if you have a specific question, go ahead and shoot. If not, we'll pull some cards and see what's in store for the coming year.
I just would maybe like to know maybe how long my long distance relationship is going to pan out.
The first thing I'm being told to tell you is, what does your gut tell you? You don't necessarily have to answer me. I'm just giving you the guidance of what's coming through. They're not giving me a specific answer because they're really asking you to kind of lean in and feel, but I will pull some cards to see what the message is around it.
Okay.
Are you having doubts in the moment?
My intuition says that it's going to work out, but then I do have some doubts.
Okay, so the first answer is always the right answer. And if you're feeling like it's going to work out, then you want to continue focusing on that. If you hone in on the fear, you'll create that. And so we can look at the fear. And what Spirit's asking you to do is maybe look at the fear that you're having of the doubt, like look at what that is and see where it's coming from. It's rooted in something else. It's not in this situation. It's coming from another hurt, past trauma, something before this relationship. And you just want to make sure that you're not carrying it over from one space into the next. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm going to pull some cards, see what the cards have to say. I'm shuffling, so give me just a second. Sometimes they fly out. Sometimes they take a minute. Okay. The first one we have is innocence. Okay, this keeps coming up. It's really interesting. Whenever I bring a group of people together or I start pulling cards, sometimes we'll get similar messages because the energy that's coming through. The innocence is the inner child. Can you allow just little Gina, like little girl Gina, to just explore this relationship with a sense of wonder, playfulness, and curiosity? The next card you have is light. Spirit is asking you, like, I'm hearing, like, just shine your light. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Let your light shine. Allow yourself to be the spotlight, the center of attention, whatever you need to do to literally like bask in all of the love and worthiness that you are deserving of. But Spirit's asking you to be very intentional with just allowing yourself to shine. The next card you have is awareness. I talk about awareness a lot. Awareness is everything. And the reason I say this is because once we are aware of something, we have the ability to change it, right? So if things come into your awareness that can allow you to shift or allow you to have more clarity, trust that. And the last card you got is healing. Sometimes, Gina, relationships come into our lives to help us heal. And perhaps this current relationship that you're in is actually here to help you heal from something in the past. Not clear on what that is. Spirit saying that you may already know. And if not, it will reveal itself. But let me pull a couple more cards from another deck and just see what any additional messages are. Do you have any other questions?
No, not really. I know my son had passed away, and I just wonder if he's always with me.
Your son?
Yes.
And how old was he when he passed?
24.
He says, he didn't say mom, he said ma. Yes, I'm always with you. He's showing me Thomas the Train. Does that mean anything to you?
No.
I always say put it in your back pocket. Might not make sense in the moment, but I'm seeing something with Thomas the Train because it's something specific with the color blue. And I'm also seeing a big red balloon. So what he's showing me.
Okay.
So just put those in your back pocket. But he's definitely with you. He asked you to connect with him. Do you ever see signs of him? I'm seeing a key and a lock.
Yeah, I do see signs there. I feel like he's with me at times.
Gina, trust that he is when you see the signs. That is how our past loved ones and our guides will connect and communicate with us, is through the symbols, signs, and synchronicities, numbers as well. So if you're seeing repeated numbers or a number that is around his birthday or his death date, does September mean anything to you?
No, but I've been seeing 11 quite often.
Okay, so keep paying attention to that. I feel like something is going something for you is showing up in the month of September. So I don't know what specifically this is, but pay attention. I know that's like 9 months away, but just put that in your back pocket too and mark that something is coming in September for you. But what was your son's name?
It was Nathan.
Nathan.
It was Nathan, but we called him Nate.
I heard Nate Dog. Did anyone call him that as a nickname?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard Nate Dog.
Yeah. Yeah, he got called that quite often.
So you've got 2 more cards here. You got the healing stones, tenderness, care, gentleness, and nourishment. So Spirit just asking you to be gentle, kind with yourself, just the way that you would be with others. And then you have the sanctuary, harmony and balance, joy and contentment. So Spirit's actually just acknowledging you for the grief that you've experienced, how you've navigated that, and that you have still been able to find joy and contentment through your process. Continue to do that, Gina, as you move through this year. Stay focused and remember that you are going to continue healing. I feel like 2025 will be a big year of healing for you, my friend.
Nice.
All right. I wish you the best of luck. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Happy New Year. And I look forward to connecting with you again, maybe sometime soon. Bye for now, Gina.
Nice. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Bye. Oh my goodness, you guys, that is a wrap for tonight's episode of Welcome Your Woo. Thank you for the callers. Those were great readings this evening. I hope that you've had fun hanging with me this evening, and I hope that you got just enough to return for more next week. Until then, if you are looking for more clarity or spiritual guidance, you can book a personal session with me anytime at sarahjanepatton.com. I do look forward to serving you and this growing audience. Don't forget to invite your friends. It's just a lot more fun when you can explore together. So if you want to stay connected, you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram for daily inspiration and updates. Be sure to tune in every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central. Until next time, remember to stay open, trust the journey, and as always, welcome your woo. Bye for now.
Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for the Hallie Elise Show with Hallie Elise. Hallie Elise. Live from HallieElise.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page. Facebook.com/Psychic Radio. Ask1Radio.com or Moonstruck.tv. This is the Hallie Elise Show on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Welcome, everyone. As always, I'm excited and delighted to be here, and I have a special guest this evening. I've been giving a little promo here and there so that you join us and enjoy this evening. Now, if you're wondering why on earth I'm having someone come on with mindful masculinity when normally I'm working psychically, because this gentleman not only knows about men, but he knows about mindfulness. He knows about intuition. He's worked with some of the biggies. His short list includes names that if I mentioned, well, for one, we don't have that much time, and for two, you'd go, really? That's so cool. But without further ado, I will share that Scott Grace, and I have to ask him about his name when he comes on as well, is somebody who you want to know about. He's got this marvelous book out now called, and I'm going to show you the cover here. Let's see if we get that in there. It's backwards, but you can see it, Mindful Masculinity, and it's even got a hot eye in the front, so that's plus. I love the chapters. I love how it's put together. I want to share with you that Scott is a comedian, not just for this evening, but that is part of his nature. And he's actually opened for people such as Robin Williams. So just to give you an idea of the caliber of person we're dealing with and talking to this evening. And the fun part about this is this book is not a difficult book. And I'm sharing this because I know how busy everybody is today. And they're like, oh, I love to read, but the book is broken into chapters. And the chapters themselves are just like so fun. When you take a look at just the title, there's one here that I was trying to get a hold of. There is one that has the F word in it, but the F word isn't fully spelled out. But for instance, My Cave, My Rules. So without further ado, Scott Grace. Hi, how are you?
Hey, oh, I'm great. After an introduction like that, I can throw in antidepressants.
Okay, I'm glad to hear it. So tell me, is Grace your last name for real?
Absolutely. It's legal. I changed it from Calixtine to Grace in 2010 when my partner and I, in 2008, named our daughter Asia Grace.
Ooh, beautiful.
And the last name that she was going to own, and then I decided, no, I'm a Grace too. So here I am.
Well, I shared a little bit real quick, but I also know that you have done coaching for many years. I know, like myself, you're an avid student, and no matter the age, you're always learning, you're always growing. I know that you've done coaching. I know that you have been a very busy boy, and this is your 4th book. So tell me.
But you don't know.
Pardon?
You don't know.
I don't know.
I went to school for psychic training, and I absolutely love the right side of my brain, probably more than my left side.
Well, they're both important, as you know. That left side has to do with our linear, and the right side has to do with that abstract and the intuition and the flow. Exactly, flow. And when they're together, that's amazing. And I know there's a part in the book that you talk about meditation. And I'm always saying to everyone that meditation doesn't have to be similar to what the guru on the hill does. You know, you don't have to sit there for an hour a day being still, doing nothing. And there's so many different types of meditation. I like the fact that you make reference to meditation in your book and how it is so helpful to get into that flow in the morning. Your book is just marvelous because there are so many different aspects. Even though the name is Mindful Masculinity, I think the description that the publisher had sent me, or the promoter had sent me, was really very apropos because it talks about men themselves and understanding themselves better, and loving themselves more, and the women that love them. Because we often get left out. You know, it's either all about the women or all about the men. Here, you're taking a look at why should a man actually be okay with loving himself, and especially the female parts. Can you share a little bit about that?
I would love to. So, as you said, we have the left side, linear, rational, intellectual, and we have the right side of the brain. And the right side of the brain is the feminine part, the yin, receptive, intuitive, psychic. And the right side of the brain receives information, doesn't effort, but actually is the absence of effort. It's inspired rather than perspired.
Okay, agreed.
So a man, or a woman for that matter, who operates primarily from the left side of the brain is in constant effort and very often constant struggle, because the right side of the brain is there to support and sometimes even lead our lives. So the more we can access our intuitive feminine side, the more we can have grace in our lives without changing your name like I did. So let's see if I can remember this point. Oh, yes, it's in the book. Men who are scared of the right side of the brain, which means afraid of feelings, vulnerability, intuition, letting go of control, surrendering, being humbled, all of that is the right side of the brain. Men who are scared of the right side of the brain actually can benefit masculine-wise. In other words, the masculine is strengthened every time you demonstrate courage. Every time you take a risk, every time you move into new territory, you strengthen the masculine, the warrior, the adventurer. And right now in our history, the part of the world, the part of the universe that in Star Trek we would say, to go where no man has gone before. You know, the bold exploration of outer space is now inner space. And when you go to the right side of the brain and start exploring and making room for feelings and intuition and vulnerability and all the things that the feminine has to offer, you are expressing courage as a man to go where no man has gone before. So you become a real man. You become more courageous as you explore the right side of the brain. And no, it's not going to make you a wimp. And no, it's not going to take you over. You already have your left brain. It's already been developed by the educational systems of our cultures.
Right.
So it's new territory, and it'll make you a better person.
All right. So that kept in mind, you brought up the word wimp. Now, I know that you had experiences as a child, and I know many boys that in kindergarten or in preschool, before they even got really into primary school, were harassed if they tapped into their creativity, if they tapped into that right side of the brain. Now, you have men that have worked their entire life to be staunch, to be difficult, to be firm because it's masculine. How do you convey to them your ability to shift?
I try not to. I wrote the book, and if life happens, then eventually it's going to bring you to your knees through disappointment, hurt, failure, heartbreak, divorce, bankruptcy. And those are the stimulators that would put a man in the position of asking for help. And that is the beginning of the journey of saying, I can't do this with my own strength. I can't do this with my will. I can't pretend anymore that everything's fine. Because that's the way men are raised, is to, be okay with anything. And eventually things don't work out. And the pain of authentic heartbreak will bring a man to that book or to my coaching practice. And I don't need to convince him about anything. I don't need to sell him on the virtue of tears or getting vulnerable, getting real. I don't do that. I just work with people who have been humbled enough that they recognize the value already.
And what if someone reads your book and says, well, I really got a lot out of it, but this whole self under construction, expect delays. How many delays am I supposed to expect?
Well, Haley, I'm glad you asked. I think I would say to a man like that, come here, give me a hug. Tell me about your challenges, and let's connect, because it's a question that can't be answered. It's a question that comes from the desire to stay in control, and I can't really do anything with that. I don't want to relate to that. I would say, what's hurting you? And how can I help?
Okay, because again, experience has shown that there are a lot of men that say, well, if I'm going to make this transformation, and there are women as well that feel this way, I need a time period. I need a deadline. And, throughout the book, you give amazing tools for people to become emotionally available. You get them, I love this sentence, this title, Get Naked with Clothes On. That's so perfect, because you're saying, reveal yourself, be vulnerable. But throughout the book, you make references. And I really enjoy the fact that you're not afraid to talk about the grief either. Because I feel that we have to, like you, get to a point where we just can't do it anymore. We have to surrender. And what's really fascinating is throughout all of your work, whether you are on your YouTube channel doing your little ditty for Dr. Seuss, or you're on stage, or you're writing, the few things that I have covered when I was investigating, because I don't let anybody on until I've checked them out, they all come back to be who you are, but be the best that you can be. You just don't phrase it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that there's that corollary from one to the next to the next, and you're not insulting anybody's sense of self. If anything, you're enhancing their sense of self.
Mm-hmm.
And your book, Mindful Masculinity, I also like really and truly, because a woman can read this and feel comfortable. Not to mention the fact a woman over a certain age doesn't need to wear glasses when she's reading the book. The font is a nice size. I have a feeling that was done intentionally.
Yeah, there's been enough women who've reviewed the book that I'm thinking of changing the subtitle to a book for women and the men who want to keep them.
Actually like that. Not that I don't like this, but I like that as well. Okay, a real quick question is, as people listen in, I'd like them to have the opportunity to check you out. Now, you have your YouTube station, and I know that's helped you kind of go viral. And that's a little bit of comedy, a little bit of sincerity, but definitely a lot of messages in everything that you do. You have your book, you have the other books. Where is the best place for somebody to go to connect with you and your material?
The Internal Revenue Service has an office in Washington, D.C. No, scottsongs.com, www.scottsongs.com, SCOTTSONGS.com. They could just scroll down the homepage. They can click on the books. They could subscribe and stay connected to my world.
Okay, perfect. Now that you brought up scottsongs.com, I would like to share with everybody that you can create a song on the spot. And you have.
Thousands of times.
Put you on the spot. what sort of song, a little ditty, can you come up with that has to do with this evening and your book and our meeting?
Oh, okay. Well, let me get my guitar. I'll be right back.
Okay, well, Scott's getting his guitar. I wanted this to be fun because he's such a fun individual, and I think you'll enjoy whatever he comes up with. And this was not pre-planned, just so that you know.
So, Haley, the more specific we can get, the more fun it will be. So rather than an all-purpose song about what we've been talking about, can you narrow it down to something that's more detail-oriented?
I can narrow it down to anyone who's feeling uncomfortable in their own skin can read Mindful Masculinity, both men and women, and gain something from it.
So you want me to like sing a commercial for my book?
There you go.
All right. I feel deep within that if you're not comfy in your skin, your frown can turn to a grin by reading my book, taking a look, taking a flashlight into your soul, seeing the ways you're hanging on to control, gently letting go of everything you think you know, starting with beginner's mind, turning water into wine, finding out you are divine by listening to your pain, shining light on your fear and shame, taking away the self-blame, finding out you're innocent, precious as can be, no matter your history, you've got a great destiny.
Yay. Isn't that awesome? That could be your new jingle for your book.
It's a long one.
It's okay. I like it.
Narrow it down. Woo, thanks for bringing out the guitar.
Yes, absolutely. Now, tell us, if you wanted to really get somebody's attention who was giving you agita, they're like, everybody keeps telling me, Scott, you're really great. Your book's really great. I thumbed through it, but I didn't know about this whole idea of changing. Like, my life is fine. I've got a business, I've got a family. I know my wife wants me to give her more attention, but, I'm busy. How would you address that?
I would say, come back in 10 years. We'll talk again. But for the purpose of this podcast, and since you asked me the question, let's see. How would I address that? I would say to this person, this man probably, dude, you can continue on your path, but I want you to take a snapshot of your potential future. If and when your wife's discontent turns into divorce court, if or when your successful business dries up, do you have the inner resources to adapt to that level of change? And if not, if you can foresee in your crystal balls that change will happen and your external success crumbling might just humble you to the point where you reach out for help, why not start now? Why not start? Because I can guarantee you change will happen. And your ego will interpret it as failure, as terrible things about you. Because there's no way you can go through life without having shit happen.
I was going to say shift, but yes.
That works. If you like, for the purpose of the recording, we can edit that out and say shift.
Dave can handle that. All kidding aside, you are really a compendium of information, and I'm hopeful that you will make a companion book or perhaps a workbook to mindful masculinity, because I think you could really serve so many people. The book itself is a valuable resource. The fact that you show people they have to connect with that inner knowledge and show people that they are connected to the divine, whatever the name is that they refer to it as. This helps, I'm going to say, solidify what spiritual teachers and metaphysicians and philosophers have been sharing for centuries. And it's in a book that's fun to read, really and truly. So again, we're going to give out your website. It's Scott's Songs.
Oh, actually, it's Scott Songs, SCOTT.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so SCOTTSONGS.com, yes?
Correct.
Okay, just making sure I'm doing that correctly.
Because the internet is unforgiving.
If somebody types in accidentally in Google Scott's versus Scott, will Scott come up?
No.
You don't know? Okay. If you had just one thing to share about your book, the most important thing, what would that be?
We got to screen the questions better. I don't know. My mind's a blank. I would say there's a chapter about men's addiction to not feeling fear. And I would say that may be the most important chapter, because until a man can admit to himself and to the universe and to others how afraid, what's the platform, what's the foundation in which all of our desires, dreams, and addictions arise. And if we can really be honest and say, you know what, it's fear that I'm not enough. Fear that if I don't accomplish, I won't be lovable. If you can really be okay with how much fear is running your nervous system and your to-do list, or at least be honest about it, then the journey begins. The healing begins. So I would say that's probably the most important part of the book. It's the beginning of a chapter called a section with a lot of M's. It's, I think, number 5. Becoming mindful.
Or was it?
Well, yeah, Haley, it's like section number, I have a.
You probably have
massive masculine migration from something to mindfulness. And
just when I was looking at it earlier, I came across it again, and now, of course, I can't find it.
That's all right.
I bookmarked several things, and of course, I didn't bookmark that one.
So it's a section in the book where each chapter is based on a certain emotion. There's joy, there's grief, there's fear, and there's anger. And it's what men need to learn about these 4 basic food groups.
Right.
That everybody carries. Yeah.
Because
and I would say, getting in touch with your feelings and being okay with all of them, especially fear.
Especially fear. Okay. Because we know that men compartmentalize.
Bingo.
And the idea is not to leave that box open. Don't put everything in there. Don't stuff everything in there. And as to the question, when you said about, preparing better, screening better, the reason my questions are kind of abstract is because I'd like to see how you're going to respond.
I like it. I really do like it. And it throws me off balance for a moment, but then like something comes out of me and I'm as surprised as you are what comes out. So these are professional questions from a professional interviewer. Don't try this at home, kids.
Exactly. I'm going to go back to the intuition for a moment. It's funny you mentioned about studying, and I did read that somewhere in my research there. And I giggled because of the fact that so much of what you've shared over the years, and I believe a big part of your book also, just came through you. Even though you've studied, even though you have context and content from all of the lessons and training, I feel like we revert back to that right hemisphere. We revert back to that part of us that inspires us. And oftentimes when you start to write words, those words change before they've ever hit the book. I am so happy you could join me this evening. Once again, I'm going to give Scott's website, which is scottsongs.com, and that is SCOTTSONGS.com. Thank you so much for being here this evening. It really was a delight, and I hope I didn't throw you off too much. I just like to have fun.
I love having fun.
And I'm going to show your book one more time before we leave for this evening. It is backwards. Shouldn't be backwards, but it is. Mind masculine. Are you sure?
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for Understanding Spirit with Mary Shapano. Mary Shapano. Live from MaryVCircles.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, ask1radio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Understanding Spirit on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Everybody, and welcome to another week of Understanding Spirit. I'm your host, Mary. I hope you're all doing really well. I'm getting a lot of messages today. I just want to move forward as usual, push forward with the readings for the collective. I have had feedback from people who really enjoy that and enjoy getting a message. Even from people here in Australia, where they do tune in and pick a card. So we're going to keep doing that because I'm able to reach more people within the time frame that I have for the show. Okay, so if you want to, of course, take what resonates and just always use your own discernment around all messages. So just take a moment to pick either card 1, 2, or 3 to see which number you gravitate to very quickly. If you have gravitated to card 1 for the collective, it is this card here, which is the Knight of Air. In the tarot deck, it's the Knight of Swords. It does have writing on the bottom, so we'll read it out. It says, events that occur with great speed take time to carefully review your options, creative solutions, okay? The Knight of Air is always sort of like on a mission and forging forward tirelessly, and they are decisive and everything. What I am also getting is around this is just watch out for like karmic friends, people that you think you can trust, maybe you can't. So just be a little bit, careful. I'm hearing in my ear now, like keeping your friends close and your enemies closer. Not that I feel like you've got enemies in your camp. However, not everybody wants what's best for you. Some people are just secretly competitive. I did get a affirmation also for you, which I've written down. I handle all situations with grace and a positive outlook. So just stay in that energy and moving forward. For those of you who've chosen the second card, it's this one. It's the Ace of, I'm not really good here with my screen. I'll learn eventually. Ace of Water. All right, and it says falling in love or researching of a relationship, spiritual growth and enhanced intuition, and also it says a new home. All right, I am when I tune into this card, I am also feeling a sense of like generosity, but I'm also getting if you're being generous with people, just tune in to, don't let anyone strip you of your energy, or rob you of your physical well-being, your emotional well-being, your spiritual well-being, your mental well-being, all of that. Have your boundaries, but stay true to who you are. Be generous. And, the affirmation that I had written down for this one is, I reflect on the needs and wants of others as my cup is always overflowing. All right. So whether you are going into a new love or considering, going back with somebody, just sort of make sure you set boundaries and just look at how far you've gone in your life and just keep connecting to your spiritual growth as well. All right. If you tuned into the third card, it's this one, which is the Dreamer. Okay. And what's written here is a leap of faith, follow your dreams, unexpected opportunities. All right. And that's about just putting effort into everything that you want, everything that you're dreaming about. If you've got somebody that's kind of being nosy and really wanting to have a sticky beak in your business, kind of just brush them off, change the subject, don't let anybody influence you or know what you're doing, all right? Okay. And just put everything in that you want in order to get the outcome that you want. And the affirmation that I wrote for this is, all my efforts bring me clarity and a better understanding. All right, so good luck with that. All right, now I've got my caller. I believe I've got Rosemary on the line. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very well, Rosemary. How are you?
Doing good. Getting there,
That's
but
good. What was that?
I said getting there, but new year, new me. If that makes sense.
Yes, I've said the same thing. New year, new me as well, because I'm setting boundaries and reevaluating my life as well in a lot of areas. But how can I help you today, Rosemary?
I have a lot of things going on, but either a relationship if I'm getting married long term, if I'm going to relocate with it, either by Easter or for summer, or with a job with it. Either one.
Okay, so I didn't quite hear everything. So did you say you were getting married?
Trying to, if I'm going to get married this year, long term, and manifesting it and wanting it and a family. So
yeah, okay. If you're going to get married this year, okay. Have you been? Have there been some conflict around this situation with you? Because even when I was Rosemary, when I was shuffling my cards before I got on the show, my cards were falling out everywhere. I just felt like I didn't have much control over what I was doing before I got on the show. Have you been feeling like that? A lot of times it's the energy of my caller coming through. Is that how you've been feeling?
Yeah, off and on. Sometimes I get down on myself or lonely. Like I felt like lonely an hour or so ago, and teary-eyed because I lost both parents within 3 years of each other. And the relationship I want, and a lot of issues at my house, if that makes sense, with my brother. Yeah. So a lot of conflicts and so on, even on a relationship too with him when I'm overseas.
Yeah, because I did get, a lot of conflict around you, and I also feel like there's not a lot of like truth coming out, and there's a lot of I don't know if I want to be nice and not say straight out lies, but there is some like deception around people around you, and I was getting like a controlling sort of like person, and a spirit are saying that this is a time that you really need to look after yourself. Well, in the midst of all of this, you need to focus on you. While you have to address everything, don't get sort of like swept away too much into it. Try to sort of rein it in a little bit and go back into your self and look after yourself. I am seeing some financial difficulties around you as well. Does that make sense for you?
Yes.
Okay. You will move forward with that. And I want to say, did you say it was your brother? Because I feel like he's very rebellious. Did you say it was your brother?
Yeah, rebellion, lies, and not being straightforward, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I was picking up very strongly.
Never very deceitful.
Yeah, I was getting that. You need to focus on like your finances. I feel like you're saying what you need to say, and you're trying to do the right thing by people and like be just and not, just like say things for the sake of being mean. You're trying to, create some positive movement forward. But at the same time, there are things that are just sort of like they're still not working out, Spirit are like, for you to just stay inspired, stay, in faith and try to be happy as you move forward with all of this stuff. You have to just continue to move forward, and with your finances, just sort of like be patient, work things out properly. Don't just like jump into things or decisions, all right? And if you have to walk away from people that you love, then that's what you have to do, okay? And don't be afraid to do that, all right? Because you have to sort of look after yourself as well. I do feel like you will get better financially, all right? But you've got to think things through from all perspectives, but you will have your happy ever after. And I pulled three decks actually, but I had in 2 decks, I had where the 10 of Cups came up, which is the happy ever after, you know, like a family life and the burden being lifted off you, all right? Tune into your own intuition. I'm just going to have a look about whether you're going to get married this year. Just give me 1 second. I think you might have to wait a little bit longer. I feel like you need to get to know more stuff about this person as well. Okay, does that make sense for you? There are things about this person that you don't know, and they might come out in this new year, which will then make you just see where you want to go with this relationship. Okay, Rosemary?
Okay, cool. Appreciate it.
Take care of yourself.
I will. You too. Bye. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you, everybody.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome. Time for Love Life with Katana Star. Katana Star. Live from katanastar.au. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Love Life on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hey everyone, how are we? I hope everybody, well, for most people, it would be the first week back after the lovely Christmas, New Year holiday. I hope everyone's settling back in okay, taking it easy, so to speak. I'll be doing a collective message in just a moment with my Crow Tarot deck, and I'll also be taking your caller. So, well, let's get straight into it. No point procrastinating over stuff. I've been quite well, very busy,
it always is the first week back, when as soon as you return to that sense of normality, it can be a bit overwhelming sometimes, can't it? Enjoy those lazy days too much. Well, I do anyway. Okay, here we go. Here's the collective message for everyone watching and listening. Here in Tassie, we've got the 10th of January, and in the US, it's the 9th. And let's see what the cards have got to say. It's just taking a moment this time. Here we go. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Queen of Cups. Beautiful. Now, last week I had the Queen of Swords, and she's a slightly different meaning in this one. The Queen of Cups in this deck, look, she's the crow. I love to call it the crow. She's flown her journey beautifully, and she's so ready now to just be nurturing and loving and emotionally supportive to others, family and friends. She can mean love as well. You know, people might be experiencing some real feelings of romance at the moment. But basically she's, you know, you can see her there in the picture. It says it all. She's sitting there by the ocean, like really lapping up that water element, the emotion, the contentment. And she can represent a very nurturing, supportive female in your life. Either that or you would be doing that for others, okay? And I really like the Queen of Cups. She's one of my favourites, actually, and she's a really good one for being in tune with your intuition as well, and to remind you to always trust that gut feeling, that sixth sense that we've all got. And, you know, that's what she's all about. So I've got Jenny on the phone. How are you, Jenny?
Oh, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm really good. What can I do for you this evening?
Well, I have this meeting scheduled with my two bosses on Monday, and I'd like to know what that is really about.
So you've got a meeting with two bosses on Monday, and you'd like to know what it's about?
Yeah, what's up?
All right, let's see what the cards have got to say for you, what you need to know about this situation, okay, Jenny? So I wish you all best with the outcome of that anyway. I mean, I'll ask the cards for some general clarity for you, and we can unpack that a little bit deeper if you like, to look at the dynamics and what potential outcome might be too. And a lot of the time as well, you know, whatever the outcome that comes out in the cards, it can give you an indication. If you don't like that outcome, you can go back and make changes. Okay, because it's never set in stone. It's all about your power in what you can do to manage the situation. Okay, but this is the current path you're on, the current energy for the meeting on Monday for Jenny. Let's see. I'll just focus. Okay. All right, here we go, Jenny. All right, so you've got the King of Pentacles in reverse. You've got the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, and you've got the Two of Swords in reverse as well. King of Swords. Okay, I was there to change it. Yeah, it's interesting. There's lots of stuff going on here. All right, so in a nutshell, have you had, they might be concerned about some kind of health issue that you might have had, like whether it's physical. But the other thing is too, with the two kings here, all right, you've got the King of Swords in reverse and the King of Pentacles in reverse, and that's not the nicest energy, I've got to say, Jenny. The King of Swords in reverse can actually be quite harsh-tongued and cold, and, you know, I'm not sure if your boss is male or not, but I'm picking up the energy that your boss has definitely very much got the King of Swords, and they're probably going to be quite harsh-tongued in what they say to you. And with the King of Pentacles in reverse, it's either a health thing or it's to do with money, all right? So I'll get the sense that they're cutting corners. I even see you possibly, they're going to try and push you out somehow here. And with the Two of Swords in reverse there, as hate as I hate, yeah, Knight of Swords coming in here. You've got some toxic people around you, Jenny, I've got to say. I'm not getting nice energy here at all.
I'm telling you, this is not my imagination.
Yeah, and look, I don't want to put the fear into you of, you know, negativity or anything like that, but I've got to say you probably would be better off walking away from this situation. Yeah, look, there's the Eight of Cups. Look, to be honest, I think you're dealing with some narcissistic energy here. They are worried about money. They're worried about either money or health with the King of Pentacles in reverse. But they're basically just trying to cut corners, I think, and they could be giving you an ultimatum or pressuring you somehow to walk away, you know, to walk out, which is what people do. You know, they won't just fire you. They'll try and bully you out of there, I think. That's what I'm getting very much anyway. There's a star there. There's the healing energy there. So, look, okay, what do you need to know about this situation? Let's unpack this a little bit more. Look, I'd go into it. Look, there will be another opportunity there, though. There's the Ace of Pentacles. So go into this situation, go into this meeting, prepared that you might be told things that you're not going to like to hear, Jenny. But ultimately, in the long run, you know, if you keep your head held high and control, I guess, the way you react to the situation, you're going to have bigger and better things await for you, because there's the Ace of Pentacles there. Let me just unpack this a little bit more, because, like I said, I mean, we can look at either why, you know, because that's sort of what you want to know. And in a nutshell, it's saying that they're just thinking really, they're not thinking with compassion at all in the situation. They're thinking about money, and they're also thinking about, you know, what's best for them in the role, especially with the King of Swords in reverse there. Let's have another quick look here. You got, Queen of Swords in reverse too. Oh, my God, you have got some, sorry to say this, you're better off out of there. You're dealing with a woman who's a gossip and a backstabber. I can tell you that now. No, she's not always the case. The Queen of Swords in reverse can actually just mean blocked, you know, communication and blocked vision and things like that. But I think you've got toxic people around you. I think you've got someone who has stabbed you in the back, to be honest. The cards aren't so much saying that. That's my intuition. You've also got the Two of Wands in reverse. So lots of reversals here, which is not, you know, reversals aren't negative. What they are, what they do show is the flip side of a different dynamic of a situation, okay? And with the Two of Wands in reverse, that's really saying to go within, and at this point in time, Jenny, you can't trust partnerships in the workplace at all. You've got to trust yourself here. I think you've got toxic energy there. There you go. You've got the Two of Cups. You've got the opportunity for a new start here, and the Chariot, okay? So the Chariot's there as well. I see you leaving your role, okay? I know that's probably going to be painful and difficult for you, but if you just trust and have hope that you know, walk away, try not to burn too many bridges if you do. Yeah, there's the Empress. There's new beginnings here. I think you're better off out of that environment, no matter what the situation, no matter what the meeting's about. Like I said,
so they're going to make it even worse on me to make me quit.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting from the cards. I think that you know, they're going to bring up some excuse or something like that to do with, it could be to do with a health-related thing, but I think it's more financial with the King of Pentacles in reverse. All right, they might turn around and say that, you know, you've been accused of things that you haven't done, or, you know, just pathetic, petty things, really. That's what I'm getting. And it's to do with the woman. There's a woman there. The Queen of Swords in reverse means gossip, backstabbing, malice. You could be dealing with a liar as well. Same with the King of Swords in reverse. It's, you know, he's quite cold and he's harsh and he doesn't have much compassion at all. He can actually be quite abusive, you know, verbally especially. So just be mindful of that. And look, I do wish you best, and I'm not trying to put negative expectations in your head here at all, but in general, the message very much I'm getting from the cards is you're better off out of this place. I know it's difficult financially, I can imagine that. But
so do you see something coming for me soon? Because you know what I'm saying? I can't be out of a job.
I know. You need a roof over your head and you need to be able to survive. So let's have a look here. I did see the Ace of Pentacles there, and I did see the Empress, and they're two beautiful signs of new beginnings. Okay, so let's just have a look here. So look, what I'd be doing, you know, obviously don't go walking out, leave, you know, arms in air, quitting, but just make some plans, I think, to try and get out of there. I really would be. There we go. Look, yeah, there's, you know what, there's the grief and heartbreak, emotional loss card, because this is going to be difficult. So there's the emotional loss card that just flew out there, which shows that it's really going to be quite difficult for you, Jenny, and it's going to be heartbreaking in a sense too that you're in this situation. But in all honesty, let's ask the cards here. I do think it's for the best. I think, you know, going to this meeting with the expectation it's not going to be great news, and walk out with your head high, and then put some plans into place. All right, because
they had it scheduled for today, and the both of them forgot about it. That's what they said to me.
Oh, really? Right. Well, that's interesting. Okay. They forgot about it.
They forgot?
Right. That's what I'm thinking. You're better off out of this place, honey. I'd start looking elsewhere. Let's see. I'm going to ask the cards quickly for an outcome for you with looking and timing. Okay. You know, you just go about this quietly and do it, you know, you put a plan in place because you're better than that. I know there's toxic energy in most workplaces and we can't avoid that, but it is about, you know, sometimes it just gets too much. And when it's, when the pros of being employed outweigh your mental health and your health and all that sort of stuff, better off out of there. Let's have a quick look here. All right, so there's 5 of Swords. There's definitely conflict coming. The Fool in reverse as well, and the Ace of Swords is there too. This is going to be quite a learning experience for you, Jenny. You're dealing with, I can't really say the word because this is G-rated, but you're dealing with some not very nice people at the moment here. I do see a positive outcome, though. The Temperance card is here. So in regards to your question, will you find somewhere else? Yes, you will. You will find somewhere else, okay? And I can unpack that for you a little bit more. Temperance is a beautiful one, especially in this deck. It's about embracing the negative energy that has been associated with something and finding balance to roll it into the positive, okay? So it's a little bit like that cliche saying that, you know, we can only control, you know, 98, so what is it, 2% of what happens to us we can control, but the rest is how we react. 98% is our reaction to things, and that's what I think the cards are trying to say to you, is to go into this, I guess, knowing that you're going to come out of it better off in the long run. Let's see there we go. You've got the World, you've got the Ace of Wands here as well. So the World and the Ace of Wands is a good sign for things being completed. Okay, so for example, in relation to leaving a job and finding another one, these would be very positive green signs that you will, okay? And just to have hope and faith in yourself, Jenny, and to trust that, you know, whatever's going on in this situation, whatever comes up in this meeting, I do get the sense they're going to try and bully you out of there. But you know what? It's probably going to be for your happiness in the long run to get out of such a toxic place.
I'm telling you, they've been bullying me since day one. This place is just, oh my God.
Yeah. So look, I mean, that's sort of what I've got in a nutshell for you. But stay put, you know, and try and find somewhere else. That's what I'd be doing if I was you. And you'll be happy in the long run for it. Look, I've only got 30 seconds left. I'm so sorry. I'd love to unpack that for you more, Jenny, but I wish you all best. You're worth more than that, honey, and all best with finding something new, because I think that's what you need. Get out of that place. They don't deserve you. All right, honey. Thanks so much, everyone, for listening and watching. I will be back same time next week. Bless be and have a beautiful weekend. Thank you.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV and Lightning Television. Welcome. Time for Amanda Hall Psych with Amanda Hall. Live from AmandaHallPsychic.com.au. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, Facebook.com/Psychic Radio. Or one of our websites, Ask1Radio.com or Moonstruck.tv. This is Amanda Hall Psych on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
To A1R Psychic Radio here on Moonstruck TV with Amanda Hall Psychic all the way from the Gold Coast. Well, Happy New Year to wherever you are in this amazing planet of ours. I know I mentioned that last week on the show because it was already New Year's here in Australia, but a lot of people then hadn't actually brought in the New Year. So it's off to a flying start. Yes, there's lots of political stuff going on around the world that we won't ever go anywhere near. Let's just focus on some positive things. Let's sort of look at, you know, a fresh new energy, an opportunity to reboot our lives, to sort of bring in some things that and some positivity that we haven't had for a long time. That, you know, we've got COVID in the rear vision mirror now, hopefully, that we can sort of start to focus on our lives and remember the lessons that we learnt then during that very difficult period, but also bring into our lives some positivity, some excitement, you know, starting on new ventures, looking at sort of being much more positive, much more confident this year. And I think it's, you know, it's really important. A lot of us learned about work-life balance. I was one of them that learned that little lesson during that period of time. And we need to carry that on into 2025. It's not saying that we can't start new projects or we shouldn't, you know, dream big and have some really great ideas. And for those that do New Year's resolutions, that's fantastic. I don't. I sort of tend to sort of try and live my life each and every day to the best of my ability and try and achieve the things that I've set down for myself in personal goals goals and things like that, and sort of not just sort of focus at the beginning of the year. I tried to focus all the way through the year. So this week, the Simply Tarot card of the week is the Six of Swords. So it's a really, really interesting card in as much as it's boat or over water travel for some people that might be lucky enough to be going on a cruise or taking a nice boat ride up the river or on the lake or something like that. But for a lot of us, it's more about turning your boat out of troubled waters. Now, I know many of us have been struggling with cost of living and sort of things going out of control. But, we always seem to be focused on money in the last few months or the last couple of years where things have seemingly gone out of control. Now it might be a time that may be the start of the new year where you can start to sit down and put some plans into action and really start to control your own finances or start to control your own destiny, that you can then too turn your boat out of troubled waters and heading into much, much calmer times. Knowing that you've got the wisdom behind you of everything that's preceded this, that you've now got a clear direction of where you might want to be going, how you want to achieve this, and what is potentially possible. And I use the word potential because I think goals and dreams and things like that are to be moderated or to be adjusted as we go along. Nothing is set in concrete. We need to sort of look at that and sort of say, okay, we have to be flexible with the things that we're trying to change. That we are starting to bring our boat out of troubled waters into much calmer times. So let's be flexible with that and sort of keep adjusting as we go along. It's like, adjusting your clothing after a heavy meal that, you let it out a little bit to sort of expand. Well, let's do the same thing with our lives and the situations or the opportunities that we're trying to bring in 2025. Let's be flexible. Let's be adjustable with those sort of situations. And for those of you that are fortunate enough to be taking a lovely cruise or going on a boat somewhere or having a dinner cruise or something like that, well, really enjoy your time on the water. I always find the water very, very calming. Some people find it that they don't like being near the water. They're very frightened of that, and it's probably a past life experience more than anything. But for those of you that do enjoy being in the water or going on the water or going on a boat trip or just going out fishing, enjoy your time. It's going to be a very, very big year this year, action-wise, for 2025, so let's sort of all enjoy it. We're moving on to the astrological section. Now, it's interesting because Capricorn is the time of the year that we're in now with New Year's. It's the new opportunity. And Capricorn rules things like big business, governments, anything that's official in our lives. And it's a time of the year when quite often we sit down and look at our utility bills and our insurance bills and things like that and think, can I get a better deal? Can I get a better deal on my cell phone service, my electricity, my gas, my whatevers? And that's because the sun is in Capricorn. So it makes us all sort of focus a little bit more on the important issues in our life, like money, and whether or not we're getting the best deals with things. So for the birthday Capricorns, happy birthday. We're nearing the end of the Capricorn time, or we're halfway through. So it's a big time for them because quite often they get sort of lost in the wash, of Christmas and sort of it's after Christmas, it's your birthday. Well, birthdays are important no matter what time of the year they are. For me, mine's just prior to Christmas, so I know that feeling too. People will say, oh, well, we'll get you one present for birthday and Christmas combined, particularly when I was a child. And that used to annoy me because I used to think, I've still got so many days before Christmas. My birthday is special. And I can sympathise with the Capricorns feeling the same way. Nobody's got any money after Christmas. Oh, well, we'll just get you a little something. We'll make it up to you next year. And next year never comes. But for Capricorns, it's a really special and important time. Celebrate yourself. Buy yourself a little gift, even if it's only a small gift. Buy yourself a little gift and sort of say, I really deserve this. We have Mercury, the planet of communication, is in the final stages of being in Sagittarius. Now, I know I've been speaking about Mercury here in the last few shows and telling people to be very aware of what they might be saying, particularly as there was family gatherings with friends and things like that over the Christmas period. And sometimes people get a little bit hot under the collar or think it's the perfect time of the year to bring up the grievances they have. Well, we're still in that sort of energy. I'm going to suggest to you to sort of, I'm not saying don't speak your mind. I'm saying make sure that it's articulate. Make sure you've thought it out. Don't just blurt something out because it feels okay to do so. Make sure that your communication is clear, it's concise, you're not being derogative to somebody else, that if you've got a point to make and it might not be pleasant, then find a way of doing it in the best possible way. Look, I truly understand how you feel, but this is how I see it from my perspective. And I think sometimes if we do it that way, I think then we also sort of feel as if, we're not being sort of quite as bossy with that other person, and the other person is more receptive to listen because you've already said, I fully understand from your point of view, but, can you look at it from my point of view? You've started on a much better footing. So that would be my suggestion over the next week. You've got to have a serious conversation. Find a nice way of opening conversation up without going in there all guns a-blazing and just sort of speaking your truth, which is what you'll want to do because Mercury's in Sag, and Sag is known for just being very blunt and very truthful and, oh, well, I said now, too bad, I've said it. Well, sometimes we've got to learn to be a little bit more diplomatic. Now, at the moment, we still have, quite a lot of emphasis on different things that are sort of happening. Jupiter is still going retrograde at the moment in Gemini, will be for a little bit longer yet. But we have what's known as the part of fortune, which is an Arabian part. Now, this doesn't mean this is where we're going to get our fortune or we're going to find the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. It's just showing us that the Arabian part is saying that if we are careful and if we plan things and if we really listen and we really look and we plan and we can capture a very magical sort of energy at the moment where things can sort of seemingly go more right our way because we've done the hard work, not because somebody says, oh, it's about a fortune, go buy a lottery ticket. I don't mean that. I mean that, with careful planning, careful decisive planning and sort of looking at the whole picture and then sort of applying that to Jupiter in Gemini, you can actually sort of start to see that things could sort of come together really, really well. It's sort of like laying the good foundation stones down for the future, that, you're showing a prospective employer if you want a pay rise, that you're really diligent, you're prepared to put in the hard yards, you are consistent, you're reliable, you're always there, you've always got a smile on your face, all those sort of things that go towards getting a promotion. It's not just whether or not you can do the job, it's the overall package. So with the part of fortune here, conjunct Gemini, it's going to be affecting the air signs, which is Gemini, Libra and Aquarius, but also the opposite sign of Sagittarius. Now, we've got this sort of happening sort of roughly till the end of the month. So, keep moving along with, with Jupiter being retrograde there, he'll then turn direct and then things will start to move forward. So just be patient, but make sure you put your best smiley face on when you're dealing with people. And, and it does come across on the phone. If you've got a smile on your face when you're talking to someone on the phone or drafting an email, it does come through. The energy does come through. We have Neptune, the planet of illusion and delusion, sitting in Pisces, been there for quite some time now. But I like to look at Neptune as being more of a creative energy of, those that are in a creative industry, whether they design websites or write songs or paint pictures or just, creatively in the kitchen baking. It can be a time where you get some great downloads of information or ways to do things or insights into things that maybe you haven't had before, and it's all of a sudden, let's capture that creative energy. It seems to be very intense at the moment. Yes, it is affecting the water signs more than anything, and particularly Pisces, Cancer and Scorpio, but the opposite sign of Virgo as well. And Virgo's not really known for its creativity. Virgo's known more for its sort of very practical, logical, down-to-earth way of looking at things. But they do have a hint of creativity there sometimes too, Virgos, and might surprise you a little bit in that way, or shock you even, that they can be creative and they can be sort of very soft and mushy and very pliable instead of sort of seeming like they're always sort of thinking. So it's interesting the way that how the planets dance around the zodiac, that they influence the different signs at different times. We still have Uranus in Taurus. That will be there till the end of retrograde until the end of the month. It's still sort of stirring things up a lot, I think, for Taurians. They think they get themselves on a path that, this is where I'm going and this is what's going to be happening. And then all of a sudden something comes along and makes them do a left-hand turn or strike something out of nowhere, and they sort of think, oh, my heavens, I'm back to the beginning again. But this is because Uranus is trying to shake everything up so that when it starts to go direct again, that it can have a clear run. It's like removing the boulders out of your pathway that you've got to walk on. Yes, we can walk around them. Yes, we could go over the top of them. Well, let's move them out of the road once and for all. So when we walk down that path again, a second, a third and a 10th time, we don't have to make those adjustments and go round the boulder or over the top of the boulder. We can have a clear run. And that's what Uranus's role here is doing. He's trying to remove the boulders out of your life and the restrictions and the obstacles that have been there so that we can start to get a clear run and we can start to get some of the magic of Uranus in a very, very positive way. So we have Mars, and Uranus will be, I better go back and say, it will be affecting the Earth signs, which is Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, and the opposite sign of Scorpio as well. So it's going to be sort of affecting things there that they really need to be sort of aware of for the moment, and sort of allowing sort of adjustments in their life, because remember, Uranus is trying to remove the boulders out of your life so your life can become a lot easier. We're going to wrap up the astrology section shortly, but I want to talk about Mars sitting in Cancer at the moment. Now, Mars is also retrograde, sitting in Cancer till the end of February. Mars is the planet of action. It's the planet of drive. It gets us out of bed of a morning. When it's sitting in Cancer, it doesn't feel real comfortable, because the Cancerian energy sort of says, I want to slow down, I want to think about things, I want it to feel right. It's got to feel comfortable with me. It's got to sit comfortably in my tummy before I'll take that step. And Mars is saying, come on, let's get going. We haven't got much time. We've got to get things moving. We've got to go, you know. And it's sort of almost like they're at opposite ends. So there'll be days there where a Cancer will feel very motivated, very clear, know exactly what they're doing. And then, the next day they might wake up and think, why do I think like that? And I really need to slow things down. So just go with the energy if you're a Cancer. Don't try and sort of make everything right in one day. Go with what the energy is today, and then tomorrow's a brand new day. So yes, it is affecting the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces, and it's also affecting the opposite sign of Capricorn. So if you are a Capricorn, you may be finding that the land is shifting from 1 minute to the next for you, probably a little bit more so because it's an opposition as well. So it's sort of like we think we get something sorted out, and then bingo, something else comes along, and we're almost back at the starting point, or restart things and really sort of start to things up again. But be aware, we will start to clear, and by the time we head towards the end of February, things will feel a lot easier for you Capricorns, that's for sure. So we've got Venus conjunct or holding hand Saturn. Now, this is what's known as a very wide aspect. Now, what it means is Venus, the planet of love and affection, is starting to hold hands with Saturn, which is the planet of discipline, structure, and important things in our lives in Pisces. So this is for anybody. It doesn't matter what your star sign is, that you're looking for love, you're looking to bring new love into your life. What it's indicating to you at the moment is we have to have the soft, subtle, gentle approach. That we have to look at the things that Pisces rules, which is music, mental health, looking at things that in a softer, more gentle, more creative sort of way. So if you're looking for love, it's not the day to go down to the shooting range unless you find that creative. Let's go to concerts. Let's go to things in the park. Let's go to the theatre, to the movies, to a Broadway show, whatever it might be, something that's very creative. But also look for something that might have a hidden meaning, a structure to the show. Is there a definite message that they're trying to send across in this show? And that's sort of more likely where you're going to meet possibly, potentially, a new love interest. Now, when I say it's wide, in astrology, we look for sort of fairly close connections. 5 to 7 degrees is sort of roughly the average. Once we get past 7, we start to say it's getting wide, and we allow that to go up to about 9 or 10 degrees. Well, there's 10 degrees between these two at the moment. It will close the gap over the next few weeks, so it's going to become more intense. I just thought I'd give you a little sneak preview of that, so you get ready. If you are searching for love in the new year, it's giving you a starting point. Now, we're going to talk with Valdemar in Brooklyn in New York. Are you there? Are you there, sweetie?
Yes, hi. I'm here. Yes, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you, sweetie. How can I help you? Do you have a question I can answer for you?
Yes. Just wondering what's coming up with the career for me. See what you pick up for me, please.
Okay. All right. And that's a really good start to the year, looking at your career and where, things are going to flow for the year. The first thing that they're showing me from the other side, which is where I get information from, is they're showing me it's not quite the right time to be making a final decision on your career yet. They're asking you to sort of sit tight just for a little bit longer, just let things flow in and out before you start to see the patterns start to form or the formulation sort of coming. The current job that you're in, I'm not sure that it's completely the right job for you, but I don't feel it's the right time to make a jump either at the moment and look for something else. I want you to sort of look around, see what's going on in the job market. I want you to also look at very carefully, is there any other skills or things that you need to upgrade that could give you put you in a better position, that if and when you did decide to sort of maybe change jobs, that you've got everything up to the minute. You've got the latest skill set under your belt. You know, like with technology moving so fast, I think it's probably hard for some of us to keep up with it. But I'm going to suggest to you that you need to make sure that your skills are up to the minute. I'm actually sort of seeing a big change or a big decision coming in around March or April. And it's like by then you'll know clearly whether you want to stay where you are or whether it's time to move on. Not showing me that one is any better than the other, and I don't mean to sound vague. That's what they're showing me from the other side, is that a decision has been made yet. So it's still really flexible, fairly pliable. And some they don't want to necessarily influence us, but they say, oh, yes, well, you should change your job because of X, Y, Z. And we think, oh, well, you know, I've been given that information, that's what I should do. They're wanting you to be in the driver's seat. They're wanting you to be able to make sure that this is the right thing for you. I'm going to say to you, from my personal feeling, from what I'm sort of being given from the other side, and I've tried to go into your soul quickly, I don't know that you're necessarily going to change your job, but I think there will be changes to the structure of the current job without actually calling it a promotion. It's like the company that you're working for is going through some, I don't know how to put it, adjustments, I suppose is the best way. And with that, there will be some adjustments to duties and things that people do for the company, which will put them in a much stronger position company-wise. But I think it will also lead to further in the year, if you stay in this current role and you roll with the punches and the changes that are coming up, even if you don't agree with them or you don't like the new tasks or whatever, and they've taken a favourite part of your job away, roll with it. Because what I'm seeing, if you were to stay there, from about August or September, you would then be in line for what I would term as a fairly decent sort of promotion with a good, you know, hit with money as well, you know, to bring your pay packet up to a nice degree, and you would be back into a point where the new role would be better suited to you and your skills. So I think it's, you know, for the moment, let's just be flexible and roll with the punches and just go hour by hour and not necessarily make a decision until it really feels really strong. So I hope that's helped you.
Yes, thank you.
You're very, very welcome. We're going to talk with Stacey now in Long Island in New York. Are you there, Stacey?
Hello.
Hi, Stacey. How can I help you, sweetie? Do you have a question for me?
Yeah, I guess I do. I kind of want to know if, I don't know, I kind of need some direction in life, and I want to know if my relationship is worth fighting for, or if I should just kind of look towards a different way, and if so, what direction should I go?
Okay. I don't want you to give me your person of interest's first name, but if you can share with me their first letter, that's really helpful to me.
Share with you their what?
Their first letter of their first name. Yes.
J.
Jay, great, thank you. Just so I can tune into them so that I'm just not, you know, randomly sort of tuning into anybody. Okay, first thing that they're showing me from the other side, which is where I get my information, the higher power, is showing me that there's a number of endings, changes and transformations coming up around you, Stacey. Stacey, you've lost your ability to think on your feet. You know, I want to get back to that where I can snap my fingers and I can think on my feet. For some reason, that's sort of waned over the last 12 to 18 months, almost come to a standstill. So I want you to get back to that. It's interesting, when I ask them about the relationship, they keep saying to me, well, you know, how long's the piece of string? How long's your patience? So I think that's the answer there. You know, is your patience run out yet?
Yeah, just about. I mean, my patience is run out, but I mean, I've stood in here having faith that, you know, I mean, there's a lot of things that this person needs to change within themselves, and I can't do that for them. I try to guide them, and they always ask me for the help, but they need to do that. So my patience has run thin, but it's like, is this person going to make that change?
That's a really tough question because, as you know, they've got to be the one to do it. You can show them, you can guide them, you can give them all the information under the sun, but they've got to be the one to take that step. And what I'm picking up with Jay is that they're very hesitant to do so. It's almost like I get there and I freeze, and it's like, oh, you know, it's almost like somebody standing on the edge of a swimming pool. They're going to dive in, but they stand there and freeze. Do we push them in, or do we wait for them to take that leap of faith themselves. And I don't think by pushing somebody ever really achieves anything. You've done everything correct. All as you can do now, I think, Stacey, is take the focus back to you. Rather than be so focused on whether Jay's going to change or implement the changes that you've suggested and do something for themselves, is take the focus away from them and take it back to you, where you can control what's going on in your life and getting yourself back to that snap of the fingers, being decisive, making decisions and sticking to it and doing it quickly. And I think by doing that, what you're going to do is lead by example. It's like, okay, I said I'm going to go and buy a new car tomorrow. So you get up and you do it. You know what I mean? You don't sit there and procrastinate and think about it for a month, 3 months, 6 months, and then say, oh, gee, the old car's broken down. I should have bought that new car. You know what I mean? You've led by example, and that's what I think you have to do here. I'm not totally convinced this relationship should go tatters yet. I think we still need to give it a little bit more time. I'm not going to say a huge amount of time. I don't think it would be unreasonable by you switching back to you and putting the focus on you and getting back to that snap of the fingers and being decisive with your own decisions and choices, that, if we gave this other person, say, another 3 or 4 months, 4 months maybe maximum, that if they haven't shown you in that time that they've been prepared to get up off the couch and put something into action or attempt to put something into action, then you know what decision you need to make. But let's not just make that the major focus in your life at the moment. Let's bring the focus back to you, Stacey, because that's what I think needs to happen. You've got opportunities that are going to come up that you're going to have to make very snap decisions. And part of that will be connected with work. And I'm not saying the job you're in is not good. I'm saying the job itself seems to be evolving and changing. And there may be potentially another role that's going to come up that's not necessarily a promotion, but you're given the opportunity. Do you want it or not? And it's like you've got 5 minutes to make up your mind before they offer it to someone else. So you won't have time to sort of go home, think about it, and worry about what Jay's doing. You've got to be yes or no. We've got to get that decisiveness back in you. You lost that. It's sort of like it's been asleep. We need to get that back again. That's your own intuition or your own psychic ability that we need to sort of ramp up again. Does that make sense to you, Stacey?
100%.
Wonderful. Yeah, and it's just, look, Jay's a lovely person, don't get me wrong, but, you can't always drag someone else up and keep trying to drag them up to your level. If they can't show you after you've given them so much insight that they're prepared to take those steps, well, then you've got no other option to eventually but to cut them loose. I'm still erring on the side of caution. I still think there's real potential there, and I do think Jay can get up off the couch and really start to show us what they're capable of. Let's go for the positive route. Okay. And then if it doesn't work out, then you know what to do.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's a year of action for you, and I don't want to see you miss the action that's coming your way because you're so focused on what Jay needs or doesn't need or hasn't done or hasn't started. The focus has got to come back to you, Stacey. And that's not being selfish, that's looking after you. If you don't look after you, you can't help anyone else.
Yeah, I've been telling myself that the past few days. I mean, yeah, he's always wanting me to help him, and it's like I don't feel the appreciation, and I'm always hearing what I'm not doing right, and it's like I have no one to support me like I support him, so it's like I'm to the point where I know I have to do for me.
Yeah, you have to support yourself. And it's hard sometimes to get up and sort of, say that, okay, when you've always been a giver, Stacey, like you always have been, it's hard to turn around and give to yourself because we sort of tend to think, oh, that's being selfish. It's not being selfish. If there's nothing left in your reserve tank, then how can you help Jay? You can't.
Yep.
So we've got to fill your reserve tank up and your fuel tank up and every other tank up so that you can fill yourself up. And then if there's anything left over, then we can help him. But, you're not helping him by helping him. You know what I mean? He's got to get up off that couch and do it himself. That's the only way he's going to learn. It's the only way he's going to achieve anything. You doing it for him is quite a victory.
I told him that yesterday. We had a big discussion. He said he's had enough of this and that. And I said, look, you're like leading the horse to water. I can only help you if you're willing to help yourself. I've done all I can do. It's up to you now to let your ego go and, let every pride and whatever and realize and look at yourself in the mirror and realize that you have to make the change. I can't do it for you. So, yeah.
No, you can't. Yeah, so you're on the right path. You didn't really need me, sweetie, to help you. Happy New Year, and it's been lovely to talk to you. That was Stacey in Long Island in New York. A lot of people are facing that same sort of situation with partners around the world, and I won't go into any more about that. I want to wrap the show up this week. I mean, we're still in the New Year's party time festivities, and it's, you know, it's a big deal here in Australia, as it is in many, many places around the world. And here in Australia, I live in what's known as Party Central on the Gold Coast, and it's absolutely fantastic. But let me assure you, we could not compete with what Sydney did this year for New Year's Eve. They had a headline act from England that was really absolutely fantastic, sensational, really enjoyed the show. I didn't stay up and watch it because I was going to be on air early the next morning, but I did watch it later on. It was absolutely fantastic. And I've never been a big fan of this person's music. I'm going to say I know who he was, and, you know, I've listened to a couple of songs, and yes, they're great. But I really saw the man in action and why people rave about him. And I'm talking about the one and only Robbie Williams, and he has an amazing new movie out called A Better Man. I want to leave you with what I think is one of his more popular songs, and it's really perfect for this time of the year as we bring in the new year and we all start to get excited and happy about things. Let me entertain you with Robbie Williams, and all the way from the Gold Coast. Have a happy and wonderful new year, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye for now.
Psychic Radio Network and watching Moonstruck TV and Lightning Television. Welcome. Time for astrology and psychic readings with Lady D. Lady D. Live from LadyDPsychicParties.com. Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv. This is Astrology and Psychic Reading on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi everybody, welcome to Astrology and Psychic Readings with Lady D. I'm your host for this segment, Lady D. I hope you've all had an amazing week that's been. So with the week coming up, we've got a few things happening. We do have on the on the 11th, so tomorrow for me, we've got a conjunction with Venus and Saturn. I feel like that might be bringing up problems. Could be like financial things coming up with that, or relationships, and be like hiccups, like sort of problems. That won't be lasting for a day or two with that energy. And then on the 12th, we have the nodes are shifting. So every 18 months, the nodes, the North Node and the South Node move into different signs. So we've got the North Node moving into Pisces, and we have the South Node moving into Virgo. I feel like with that, over the next 18 months, you'll see more of a focus on like mental health, spirituality. I feel like it's going to be bringing up a sort of a spiritual like uplift. I feel like that there could be some maybe experiments happening with certain drugs around, but mental health would be a focus too, with the North Node being in Pisces. Then when you got the South Node going in Virgo, I feel like with that, people might be looking at different remedies and different things to different healing modalities. I feel like it's going to come in and looking at that with that over the next 18 months. We've got on the 13th, we do have Mars, which is going to be trying Neptune. I feel like that's not going to, it's not going to calm your anger or calm your frustrations with that transit. On the 13th as well, we've got the Sun trying Uranus. This will be sort of a big surprise happening, I guess, globally. It'll be something positive, but even in yourself, you might have some sort of unexpected news. Something unexpected will happen, but it should be like a positive thing. On the 14th, we've got the full moon that is happening in Cancer. So this full moon, and then I'll go back to that. And then on the 15th, we've got a Venus, which is going to be in square with Jupiter. That's going to bring about, I think, some frustrations there. Relationships may not be working as smoothly as you want it to with that. And then we've got on the 16th, we've got an opposition starting with the Sun and Mars. Might be making you feel more confident with that transit. And then I said on the 11th. So that full moon that we've got coming up, it will be in Cancer. So part of it will be about sort of hiding your emotions, dealing things as they come. We do have some positive aspects. We do have I've got tickle in my throat. We do have a try coming from the moon to Saturn, which is really helping us with any problems that are coming up. It's like, as I said before, with Cancerians, it's about sort of hiding the emotions, keeping it in, and having that hard shell. So I feel like it's really helping you to deal with things and to process with things and not get too emotional. We've also got a sextile to Uranus that could bring us unexpected emotions, but that will be positive. It won't be anything negative. Plus, we've got a try to Neptune. So I do feel like it'd be about working in harmony, creating a safe space for yourself, working within yourself too. And we've also got we do have a square with Chiron, and I feel like that could be bringing up some things that have really caused you a bit of distress. But I feel like with this full moon that's coming up, I do feel like it's about bringing up surprise emotions, but it's good emotions coming through. And I feel like it's about newfound opportunities coming in. I feel like it's going to be making you more problem solving and just really being patient and getting on with things and not getting too worried or too complex or too bogged down in them. I also feel like it's about feeling like things are more stability. I also feel like it's about making changes in your home, whether it be you're redecorating, you're cleaning up, just making positive changes, changing things around in the home. And I feel like it's also about wanting to make there'll be improvements. The change that you make at your home, it will be an improvement that you do make. I feel like for some reason we are dealing with water signs, but I feel like especially where I am, it's going to be bringing more thunderstorms and perhaps even in Europe too. But I feel like with this, it's about going within a little bit. So I do feel like there's going to be more things happening behind the scenes that we can't see too. So let's go to the caller. So we've got Cameron in Sydney. So hi, Cameron. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. So how can I help you today?
I would just like to know if you could help me with like what areas of my life I should be focusing on for personal development right now.
Okay. I don't know if this is a focus or not, but when you're talking, I just get like heart, like as in, I don't know if you had like heartache or a heartbreak recently, or there's been something issues with the heart that's coming up. But I feel like this is more about relationships than say health. I feel like that it is time to sort of it's like you got to put your feelings on the line here. I feel, does that make sense? By the way.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. And I just feel like it's kind of like bygones be bygones. I feel like, I don't know if you live near the beach at all, but I am feeling like around the beach, but like somewhere that's quite busy. I'm drawn to Manly. So I don't know if you're around that area or if you are around a place that's like Manly, because I am drawn around that for you. But yes.
I'm not too far away from there.
Oh, okay, excellent. And I see a girl there, and she's slim, she's very tanned. I feel like she has, I'm going to say blonde, but it's like a dirty blonde, I feel. But I feel like she's quite slim. And I don't know, I feel like it's like taking a dive or taking a risk here. And I feel like it's something to do with this girl. I feel like you've been really sort of thinking of holding back or really not sure where to go. But I feel like in March, there's like things in, and again, I feel like it's the love, the relationship, it's blossoming around you. And I just feel like it's time to really, I don't know, put yourself out there, put your heart on the line. That's what I'm hearing as well. In terms of what you should be focusing on for this year, I feel like the first 6 months of this year, it's all about you putting yourself where you want to be, even when it's looking at future goals. I feel like there could be travel plans or looking at traveling. And I feel like I want to go like abroad. So not in Australia, I want to go international. I'm really drawn to, actually trying to think like Europe with you. I want to say America, but then I thought more Europe. I see like the old buildings, but it's like old. I don't know where I am. But there's like plans, like travel plans. And then I feel like then it's about like your work, focusing on work and career. I do feel like there's a chance or there's a new contract coming up. I do feel like I'm working in the city with you. I'm drawn to like the tall buildings. I feel like I'm in the city CBD, but down near, if it's like Stokely Quay or down near the bridge. I feel like I'm drawn down near the bridge for you. And I feel like you're very...
Actually, that's funny. That's where I work.
Oh, excellent. I feel like you're a very funny guy, and you're very open, you're very smart, very intellectual. But I just feel like, I don't know, the first 6 months, it's like your private life and you, and then the last 6 months is goal orientated around your career and business, like, and it's all about work, is what I feel. Okay. For you, and it's about just making it happen. I feel like at your work there's a male there, which I feel like is a bit of a bully. This man feels like he knows better than other people, or you. I feel like he's going to trip up. I feel like that he's really, it's like not negotiable with him, but I want to say avoid him because he's going to trip up.
Okay.
He's older. I feel like he's older than you. He thinks he's very clever, but he's actually not. He doesn't understand people. That's what I feel.
Yep.
I feel like you're very spiritually aware of yourself. I feel like you've got a really good intuition. I feel like you hear, like you got thoughts or you hear things. I feel like you're very connected in that way. But yeah, I just really feel like you're leaving like toxic or negative people behind. And you're having a fun time coming up here. Look, February might feel like everything is being shifted, or it feels like your world's been tipped upside down, but it's a good shift, and it might sort of knock you off your feet, but it's to lead you in a different direction than where you're meant to go.
Okay, perfect.
Like as well. Do you have any questions for me?
No, that's really great information. Thank you so much for all of that.
That's okay. Thank you. Let me just even get anything else for you. I don't know if you have a skinny dog. Have you ever had a dog that might be a little bit slimmer, or a dog that the fur doesn't have long fur? The fur's like short. Perhaps it might be a small dog. Because the dog's saying it's a skinny dog, and the dog wants to say hello to you, and I just feel like the fur is like short, but it's like feels soft, like silky, this fur, and the dog just wants to say like hi, and I feel like it's very energetic. It runs rings around you, and the dog is saying that I feel like the dog likes the beach or likes going on surfboards, but it's like I don't know if you go surfing or not, but I see this dog on a surfboard, so I just feel like when you're at the beach, this dog is there with you, and he's like, don't forget about it. Okay.
Well, that's great. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for calling in today.
Thank you so much.
That's okay. Thank you. All right, guys. So this week we have a lot going up in the astrology, but just like this year, there will be a lot happening this year with the astrology. As I said, this week, I think this year will just be fast things, changes just happening out of nowhere. I do have my predictions up on my YouTube channel for the transits and for what I see coming up for the year ahead. So if you go to look up Danielle Psychic or Lady D to view them. And I feel like that, where there is, sometimes we get anxiety, but there'll always be some good things coming up as well during the year. If you want to contact me, you can. In the process of updating my website, it is still there, but it is Lady D Psychic Parties. The same as my Facebook page is also Lady D Psychic Parties. I've actually started doing lives on my YouTube channel and Facebook, so I'm going to start soon, probably next month or next week, starting doing lives on Friday nights and also maybe on a weekend, so I get all different time zones. My Instagram is Lady D Psychic. My TikTok is Lady D Psychic, and I feel like I've forgotten one of the social medias, but I think that's it. Hope you have an amazing week ahead. Enjoy this full moon in Cancer. I feel like it will be positive, and I will see you same time, same place next week. So bye for now.
Hello and namaste, everybody. It's beautiful to see you, and happy Tuesday. I'm so happy to be here with you all right now. I've been thinking about how much I just love to tune in to the collective at this time and really, come into a space of deep connection with